Welcome back to another episode of the Red Wagon Inn with our brand new full-time cast member, Jakey of Jakey Boy Arts, with his new Gideon artwork right down next to his face. What a beauty, what a cutie. Glad to have him on the stream. Thanks for joining us permanently, Mr. Jakey Boy.
Thanks for having me. I'm so excited. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, oh, well, we'll see, I guess, but but I hope that it will be nothing but fun. Just so everybody is aware, Streamlabs, OBS, everything of that caliber and variety is having incredible technical difficulties right now, and so we are having incredible difficult technicalities because they are. And so you have to kind of join in with us here as we try and get through some of them. What that means is that there's going to be some differences in the way that we do giveaways tonight because there's no bots that can work through giveaways for the way that we have them set up. So instead, what we're going to do is get y'all onto the Red Wagon Inn Discord by having the giveaways be code words that we'll say tonight. We'll say them halfway through the show. We will let you know when they're happening, and then some at the very end. So if all you do is go into the Discord, type in that code word, you will enter for the giveaway, which is good because we have 4 giveaways tonight. 4 giveaways! Ah, crazy! Absolutely blowing out numbers here. I'm sure no one else in the world has ever had 4. So we have a Red Wagon Inn world record as far as I'm concerned. Awesome. Actually, as a segue to that, the 4 dice giveaways that we do have going on this time are all 4 dice from Hackstack Dice. They're actually featured in my latest video. One set is going to be blue with gold leafing foil in it. One is going to be black with gold leafing foil in it. And then 2 are their kind of unique real scene dice, which have like pictures inside of the metal dice, which are pretty unique at the very least. These are kind of polarizing, whether people like them or not. However, they are definitely unique. And so that's always kind of cool. I like having different style dice sets. And so hope everybody likes those and is excited about those.
Unique and free.
Unique and free, the best combination of all time. Awesome. We have a few bits of art to share today because a lot of technical difficulties happened. Only what I had entered into Streamlabs earlier is still into there. So I'll get to show some of them, but there's definitely some art that we will pile in next week on if that works for everybody. But first and foremost, I was going to share the Halloween outfit, but we got to show our main new Gideon guy and his little look. Little Jakey, you want to explain your Gideon's outfit for everybody to show like what was the inspiration?
Yes, I wanted to be comfortable when traveling. Yeah, I just like pastel colors, and that's the vibe I wanted to go for with him. So I love what Safi made. He's so cute.
Oh, yeah. And he gets even cuter with his Halloween art as he kind of looks like the Doctor.
Yes.
Now we have Halloween art for all of the individual characters too, which is absolutely adorable. Which could come into play next week because we haven't set it on stream yet. But next week, not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday is going to be the Halloween special episode. And the Halloween special episode comes with something special because I'm writing it up as a module, and the module will be released with art for free with maps for everybody to have on October 31st. So if you want to have a spooky game that night, it'll release that Saturday morning for everybody to have a free Halloween module, which Retrograde Minis is doing the art for, and he makes fantastic stuff. So excited for that one there. Also, one thing that we did for everybody on here whenever we first started was letting everybody get to know each other. We have a new stream member, and I want everybody to get to know him. And so if you were joining us in Jakey's stream just a little bit ago, he was making a cool piece of art of Rummy Lights Are On, the Warlock Hexblade Raccoon, which is actually a...
Yes.
What was the tabaxi, but he's a raccoon. And so he's a Boston big chonker raccoon boy. And he made that art in like 20 minutes or something. It was absolutely crazy. And so Jakey is a fantastic artist, and it's awesome to have him on the stream. So much so he even took Boblin and Twintig and had them have a little play date, and it's adorable, and I want to cry.
It's the cutest
So
thing I've ever seen in my life.
Right? Oh,
So
gosh.
cute.
Boblin
It
will
hurts.
definitely have his art eaten by Twintig. Awesome. And then the last bits of things, which are from Safi, which are, boom, the new headshot for Team, who now has flesh and scales and blood and no longer just bone, and the little
I'm a
floating
meat
wings.
bag.
We're gonna be so handsome.
It's just the most handsome.
Also, somebody said Rybo wife is gonna want kids, my dude, after seeing Boblin and Twin Tick. I love it. And then the art for the week, which is Team's Flesh and Bone by Safi Chan, which is Team looking at his old self with Atta having flesh looking at Atta's old self. Ooh, though Atta is still currently bones, but that's where we're at right now.
Fair. Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you, Safi, for always the amazing art. I like seeing the before and after of the two. So this was
That's
after and
that's
before,
actually
but
the
also
art
before.
I had mentioned last week that we had been working on for over a month.
Oh, is it?
To get that? Yeah. So that was before Team died. Like, it was cool.
That's awesome. I didn't know which one it was or when it was coming, but now I know, and I'm
But
glad to
now
have
you
it.
know.
Now, whenever somebody says, "Oh, wait, I thought you were bony," we're like, "Yeah, just whatever. Look at this art." I'm not that anymore. Awesome. So with that, reminder, we are still playing for the Red Cross for the wildfire relief, always playing for that. So please, if you can, donate to them. Though tonight, I don't think that the timers will be going to show the link on there. So happy to share those at any point for anybody who wants that. It's just going to be a rough night as far as technicalities are concerned, but we're still going to play some D&D, and that's the main point. Does anybody have anything else they want to talk about, they want to plug before we get rolling for the recap?
I'm just so happy to be here.
Ready to just be playing some D&D then. Right. Oh, gosh.
What are you buttering up the DM for this time?
Thank you. Rybo wife was... she was going to Taco Bell, and I was like, please bring me a cheese roll-up at some point. So not sponsored, but she just threw it over the wall. So I will eat this during somebody's recap. Thank you.
I got a lot of snacks today, guys. So you're gonna see a lot of Brie eating.
You got it.
I have snacks too.
Absolute nutrition with Taco Bell.
I have grapes.
I ate
Hydrate or
snacks.
dihydrate.
Nice. I ate snacks beforehand because I'm always eating on stream, so I thought I wouldn't eat today.
Not today. Now you're the loser who doesn't have snacks, Jackie.
I know.
I don't have a full cake today, but I have got a full punnet of strawberries. So.
Oh, well, there we go.
That's so healthy. Drew, I was gonna ask, why are you buttering up the DM for this time? You're not gonna die, hopefully, right?
You don't know that it's Ryan.
Oh no, that is true. That is true.
Anything terrible or wonderful can happen.
You don't know that. Right. With not knowing that, I do have one piece of recap that I'm going to add to whoever has to do it, because I made an amazing piece of recap art for last week. And I will throw that one up as we're rolling.
So good.
Can everybody go ahead and roll me their d20s to do who has to do the official one as I share my recap art?
Oh man.
That up there is the giant rock and Hercules saying kill Burb, with Mabel saying don't kill Burb. By the way, I am totally gunning for Jakey's job here as the big rock.
You might get it.
I honestly, I don't want to brag, but I did that in a solid 2 hours. My paint skills are enormous, but yeah, it's wonderful. A little known fact: Rybonator and Rybo wife ate Taco Bell on their wedding night. Yes, thanks, Rybo mom. We actually did eat Taco Bell on our wedding night.
Actually, a really sweet story too.
It super is. I will tell that sometime. But for now, it's time to see what everybody rolled, what everybody get.
15.
13.
Drew,
17.
17. Bree,
6.
Oh no.
Gideon.
7.
Ooh, I got an 11, so that goes to Bree. Hit us with that recap.
Bree.
Okay, so last week we all cried a lot, from what felt like the first 2 seconds. Jake's character pretty much immediately died. We started with us, Summer in a hat and Salt floating gently down from the rock, who was just full on fallen from the sky. Jake did try and turn the rock into a hang gliding mechanism. That didn't really work. Gust was cast, people were crushed, tears were shed. There was 3 dead, which is not a good time at the start of an episode.
Depends who you
and-
ask.
Depends who you ask. I heard Ryan was having a great time last week. We we then searched the area, freaked out a bunch, discovered that Mabel, that tricky little lady, had 2 phoenix feathers on her person, which we were able to summarize would bring back and what's it called? Resurrect people if they were like burnt with it. So Summer and Salt were faced with the amazing decision. Summer, Salt, and Zania were faced with the amazing decision of who they should save with only 2 feathers. Summer immediately decided to bring back Team, who came back without memory but with flesh, which completely freaked out Salt. Salt had an absolute just breakdown, stole the feather. There was some sibling issues that occurred. Uh, they're not great right now. And after a kerfuffle and a lot of more tears, we were able to get back the feather after some beautiful, emotional moments between Zania and Team, which more tears. And then we finally made the tough decision. Well, by we, I mean anyone but Summer, because she was in a ball on the ground, made the really tough decision to bring back Mabel over our penguiny boy.
Okay.
F's in the chat. Yeah.
It's in the chat.
Herc went to the big iceberg in the sky. And we brought back Mabel, and we kind of all dealt with the emotional issues that were surrounding that choice. We then just laid on some more emotion, getting some backstory about Sister Pepper, who we all thought was just kind of on a bit of a soul-searching mission, but in fact, sadly, has deceased and is currently possessing half of the time old Salty Boy. Tried to steal that feather back. Summer's not really talking to her brother at the moment, and her brother seems to have amnesia. That's all I got.
I think it was so good that actually the timers came back on for Streamlabs and the giveaways are available, so we can
Yeah.
fix that.
Oh,
I
cool.
think that's how good it was.
We might be able to fix it as we go. It's so good. However,
Inspo.
definite inspo. What else happened with a new fella that joined in on the group?
I
So,
didn't get inspo. I forgot about Gideon.
Can't really give you that one there.
It's fun. I'm used to being forgotten.
Oh,
Gideon
True.
gets
It's
your
also a
inspo for
giant
forgetting him.
gorilla, right?
Yeah, there's quite a bit that you missed for the whole second half of the episode there.
Was I present for the second half? I'm not sure.
Fair enough. Fair enough. For what else was missed and happened there, you all came back to the group. You're trying to get Herc restored, and you found that there's a druid in the inn who could restore him, though probably not in the way that he wants, more in a reincarnation kind of way, who a big gorilla took him to the forest. While that was happening, Salt went and grabbed stuff for Mabel back in the back, and in running back, a new wholesome boy, Gideon, was sitting out in the streets and saw a gorilla leave the inn and a rat folk come running back in saying, "Don't take my friend," as he ran back into the inn as Gideon realized, okay, I need to find someone in here to help with me. Gideon quickly found his way with the group as he made them food, which is, the closest way and quickest way to get to anybody's heart. And so the group said, hey, you're pretty all right. As Team now with his new flesh and body, as he is technically an ASMR, or ASMR, whatever you want to call him, an ASMR, as Team has a dragonborn body, but he's got wings, tried to go fly. And he did, and he flew straight up, but he's never flown before, didn't really know how to stop, didn't know how to control it. And so he started falling. As Gideon saw him falling out of the window, ran out to help him, and quickly featherfalled him before he hit the ground, as we have another cleric in the group, this time a time domain cleric, a studier of the time scar, a specific location within my homebrew world, and a homebrew class, so it'll be fun for y'all to get to learn about the time domain cleric that is Gideon. With that,
Bonus points.
Ooh, bonus
Bonus points. the druid's name was Fern.
That might be one of the secret words, except we might not have to do secret words anymore if you can get the timers and all that up. Right. With that, anything else that we got before we get going?
Nope, Bree, I fixed the timers. They're good on there. We just gotta do giveaways.
I just want to say that my notes compared, so like the session before, these are my notes kind of, and then last session I have like one sentence.
Jackie was busy making everybody cry in a good way last session.
Making myself cry.
What was that one sentence, Jackie?
Fern druid who can reanimate Jake.
Not her,
Not like
just me. 'Cause I
Team
am
died. Not,
Yeah, not her, just Jake.
Yeah, yeah.
just Jake.
And then Gideon Tobias is what I have written, and that's it.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I think that's it. So let's get started. Everybody grab a drink, pull up a chair, and let's hang out at the Red Wagon Inn, where we ended last time. And people can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but where we ended was everyone essentially going to bed very early last time after the horrible, stressful day that you had. It had been maybe about 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock as you were going to bed. However, we are going to go to Gideon. As Gideon, you are with Mabel in her shop as you were taking a look at everything around. Mabel, the menagerie owner, the essential animal keeper of so far that you've ever met in all of Asterion, but right now in Novigrad, the city that you are currently in. Gideon, Mabel, and you just found Gorf as you cleared up with a lesser restoration Gorf and gave him his senses back. So he was no longer in a state of, I'm so fine because I'm drugged up on catnip, but instead in a state of, as he starts screaming, you start screaming, Mabel starts screaming, a big kind of goes back and forth before Mabel says, Gorf, 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 no, shh, 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 as she goes over to him and basically covers his mouth as you hear behind her covered hand. You're not even sure how her hand truly entirely covers up Gorf's mouth because he is a big Cheshire cat grin of a cat standing nearly 4 feet tall. But he almost seems to let it happen. His eyes still wide, looking at you, confused as to what you did to him. But Mabel starts talking to him. No. It's okay, Gorf. It's totally. He helped you. You were indulging too much. You always indulge too much whenever I get that thing open. I that's why I have to put you in the other room when this happens. As she looks over at you, she says, I'm very sorry about this. I don't know how he got into this giant bag of catnip. Also, I have to pause. Everybody should know, Rybodad hates Gorf. He has actively tried to see how much he has to donate to the Wildfire Relief Fund to put a quest out for Gorf's head. Just
I got
FYI.
your back, Rybonator.
I think maybe 500.
Yeah, there we go. That's all. He's like
No,
chump
more than
change to not
that.
have to hear
I
that.
love Golf.
No,
Why
no,
does everyone
see-
hate Golf?
I'm cheaper than that team. Just become a tier 3 subscriber, Rybonator. You're done.
There you go. He'll make it happen.
No. I
While
will fight
Gorf is
for Golf.
panicking,
While Gorf is panicking.
I'm going to start like sweeping up the the illicit stuff. But I'm gonna sweep it towards the bag, and I'm going to like while I'm sweeping it up, the bag is gonna start sewing itself together as if the rip in it is reversing, and I'm gonna use mending on it.
Oh.
So I'm just gonna seal that right back up and hope to goodness gracious can fix whatever damage was done by all this stuff.
As you start kind of sweeping it back up, mostly through magical means, basically small gusts of wind that keep pushing it forward into the bag as the bag slowly starts to seal itself up with mending. She's, no, it's fine. As he's like reaching out towards the catnip like an addict who is just stuck here on this catnip stuff. She's like, no, just let him put it away. It's a sight thing for you, Gorf. You know that it is. If you see this thing, it's going to... just let him put it away in the bag. She mimes to you with her... Like, thank you. She doesn't actually say the words, but she turns to where he can't see. Thank you. So it'll be good for you, Gorfy. It's fine. As you finally... Zip, almost like a zipper-like sound of the quick metal fabric kind of closing itself back up there. This bag designates itself as a 50-pound bag. However, there seems to be a large portion of this bag that is now missing or empty. like a pillow that's lost quite a lot of feathers. It's kind of floppy on the end of it. Definitely based on the other sacks of food and grain and whatnot that are below it. There's a lot missing out of this is the best way to put it. However, a magical cure of lesser restoration is always a good way to go when fixing things like that. As Gorf's eyes slowly kind of go from this red around the edges looking towards it, it truly is like a sight thing for him. He knows not to be a bad boy and reach into the catnip bag. Now that it's out of sight, out of mind, as he kind of kind of seems to calm down. She pulls her hand off his mouth. She's like, okay, Gorf. Thank you. You had such a wonderful time, it looks like. And everything here is in such fine working order. I have to thank you so much for what you've done. I will play with you tomorrow, but right now I have to help a friend. And then I have to help all the other caged animals and make sure that they get fed. And then I will play with you tomorrow, and I will make sure that you get plenty of foods. Gorf looks over. Instead of this anxiety thing, Mabel seems to be like a calming presence for this creature. As it immediately screamed once you gave it its sobriety back, you were not sure anything about a Gorf or what they are, what they do, or why it would scream so quickly, but this is like a child who sees its mother for the first time in a long time. Just, thank you. She's like, now, Scooch, you need a bath. Go take a bath. As she pats him on the butt just to get him to walk away. There's kind of that second tier within inside the building here. It's that open second floor. You can see him walk over to some wooden stairs that are nearby, and as this chunky cat walks over the top of it, you hear the wood creak as he goes up, and you can hear every step on him like a cheap apartment above you where he takes a step above and around before you hear a loud boom. And she's like, oh, that must be him laying down in his bed. Everything should be poof. You hear another one. Gorf, poof. Everything okay? Oh. He's fine. What can I help you with? What you wanted to take a look at most of the things. I saw you taking notes. I don't know how long you plan to stay and take a look at things. What can I help you with?
Well, you had mentioned the phoenix feather. I would love to see it. You'd mentioned it was, pardon my forwardness, but you'd mentioned dragon eggs. If I could just look at them, that would be very interesting for my notes. I'll stand back or whatever you need to make you most comfortable. But yeah.
Yes, I have that. If I don't have what you want, you have to give me your left shoe. No, that's not how trading works. I'm sorry, I'm a bit...
Gideon's already taking off his left shoe. And
No. It's fine. You're generously giving me your time to take a look at my things and hopefully maybe make a sale later. Come with me. As she walks towards the back in a hurried manner, mostly assuming you're following, not giving any sort of like, oh, come on. She's just gone. She heads towards the back of the shop. On the back of the shop, as you get around like the little bar and the shop counter there and head towards the back, you see several glass display cases. Some of them as far as your waist high and about as wide as you, with larger dragon eggs on the inside of them of varying colors. Some of them much smaller eggs lining the inside of these glass display cases. Some of them with bits of like blanket underneath just to kind of hold them steady. Some of them, the glass display case itself is covered in a frost, like a cold soda that just got pulled out of a fridge, or a beer, I guess is the cooler way to say it than soda. But some of them also seeming to have almost condensation or sweat, like in a sauna or a steam room on the inside of them. You can hardly see inside them at all. Various sizes, all these scaled egg-like creatures. You don't see hardly any regular eggs here, and for her assortment of different creatures, seeing only these scaled eggs strikes you as odd, rather than, oh, why do you just have the kind of scaled ones? She's, there's one that's kind of glowing onto the side here. It's this red and black egg. If you were to take a look at it, you might even mistake it for a spherical piece of magma. It almost looks like cracked and red earth on the inside of it. As she walks over to it, she goes, "Here, do you need to hold the phoenix feather, or is it more just looking, not touching for you?"
Oh, I'm okay with. I mean, it'd be an honor to be able to hold it, but it looks like it's serving a purpose right now. So,
it's not.
Just looking would be fine.
He's fine to sit for just a moment. As she pulls out the largest piece of thick brown leather oven mitts that you've ever seen. She says, hold on. She puts goggles on that look like a tinkerer's set of goggles, all of them marked with black. And so she says, take a few steps back if you don't mind, before she heads over to the glass. A little further.
Oh, yes. And he goes like right up against the wall.
She opens it. As soon as she does, you see immediately why she told you to step back. You can feel even some of the hairs on your body almost do that singe thing, like when you get a little bit too close to a candle. As she pulls it open, her hair kind of blows back like a jet engine as she reaches in and picks up this red and black egg. As she holds it in her hand, she reaches in with the other part of the oven mitt to the feather. As she holds the egg in her hand, she reaches the feather back to you without looking and says, please come grab it quickly.
I scoot over and just like pinch it out of her hand gingerly, and then I scoot right back. And I'm already starting to sketch it in my book.
You set it down, begin sketching. You hear the click of the glass display case before you turn around, and the egg appears to be back in its spot on the display case there. She comes back over, taking the mitts off. As she sets them down on the actual table, you can hear a tss, like putting water or something in a skillet as the leather gloves touch the actual wooden surface of the table here. She goes, he should be fine for just a few minutes for you to really get a good look at the feather. The feather should be quite cool. No worries about that. It's mostly the egg that retains all of the heat. Demonians, am I right?
Yes. He looks a little confused.
She says, Ardente demonians. They're red dragons from the east, Ludrith. They're, a fiery temper. But
I can only imagine.
Quite. Mostly the display cases here are probably the most valuable things in here, keeping all of those elements held in there. But that, he's going to be a nasty one when he grows up.
If you don't mind my asking, why do you raise dragons? Is it just interest, or... I mean, it seems like a scary profession if you're asking my professional opinion.
Well, I like to think of myself as, not a mother, more of a carekeeper, a wise old grandmother, a cool aunt. I like to be a cool aunt. Is the best way to describe it. A lot of the creatures that are here, well, you don't really have to worry about the ethical or moral concerns of them, because if they wanted out of here, they could kill us in an instant, right? So they want to be here. The eggs, on the other hand, we mostly source eggs from types of dragons or creatures that abandon them naturally as part of the birthing process, or those who were left over from dragons that have gone wild or slain anything, and now their eggs just exist. I don't want them to wake up from their eggy slumber and suddenly be attacked by some sort of creature and just have no chance at life. So I do my best to take care of them until a suitable, owner comes along to raise them.
Wow. Well, that's very noble of you. Thanks for sharing that with me.
Of course. I'm always happy to share and talk about anything in my menagerie. I'm quite proud.
He kind of like just takes in the room and like, because we're upstairs or we're downstairs?
You're downstairs right now still.
Okay. Yeah, I think Gideon, after the feather thing, he hands it back to her, and Gideon just starts like walking from cage to cage, just slowly, like, because he kind of did a run around where he started like doodling and sketching things, but I think Gideon now actually like really takes in the space he's in, and he's just dead silent the entire time.
As you're taking a look around, you hear her take the feather back over, and you suddenly feel again like a furnace opening as she throws the feather back in with the other egg that was in there and closes it, taking the mitts off and the goggles and setting them off on the corner over there. As you walk around silently, she kind of just watches you before she's looking at some of her cages. She's, most of them are all back, but some of them are out of their cages. They're bound to turn up sometime. You have any particular interest in any of these creatures? Or I'm sorry, you want to be in silence. I'm very bad about keeping silence. I just talk. Luckily, they don't mind me listening, but I'm sorry. I really should stop. You think I should stop, don't you? I really should.
Gideon, like, kind of, like, lightly interrupts and goes, the best part about silence is anything can break it. Talk as much as you'd like. And he continues walking around, and he's clearly showing he's actively listening to her. Like, anytime she says something, he, like, looks at her and stuff.
as you go through sketching some of the creatures, some of them that you've only heard of, never been able to see, especially. She seems to have a large collection of fey dragons here, which are the little small, almost butterfly-winged S-dragons off in the corners. As you take a look at those, pausing at a few of those, being that so many are out there, it's... Whoa, that's how do you have so many of those kind of things? You don't voice your opinion. You just seem to keep pausing on them. She's, oh, they help keep out all of the invisible intruders with all of their fairy fires and their pixels and their they're great for that. But would you like to pet one?
I would love to pet a fairy dragon.
Absolutely. As she says, "Come here, Tinkle." As she holds her hand out, one of the fey dragons that's in there, its small little tail reaches out and undoes the lock on its own, which you're like, then why is it in there in the first place? Before it flies over and lands on her arm. It's falling as gently as a piece of paper in her hand. She kind of anticipates it there. She says, "Go on, just give it a little touch on the nose."
Yeah, Gideon goes over and very gingerly, like almost as if like cradling like a piece of glass, like puts his hand out and then just kind of like pets. And he's just enamored.
As you stroke the back of this fairy dragon's mane, it kind of shakes and shimmers. Its wings are this kind of pink purple color that's kind of dull. However, as you touch it, it kind of shakes like a cat does sometime, and the wings begin to flutter and glow brightly. As she goes, "Oh, hold on, watch out!" As she turns him briefly, as it sneezes as a spattering of gold and pink mist slams onto the wall, like just taking a brief spray paint can onto the wall. She says, "God, get in your cage," as it flies back over there away. She says, "They really are hungry." So you're like, "Hunger sneeze? What does this mean?" Before she goes and closes the latch back up, she says, "I'm sorry. He could have sneezed on you. You would have lost your vision."
Question about, is there any of the cages with fairy dragons with like a price on them? This is Jacob asking. Gideon doesn't say anything.
There don't happen to be any price tags on any of these cages.
Okay. Because, man, that fairy dragon, that's... Ooh, boy, that's pretty cool.
However, this is a menagerie. You know things are for sale here, regardless of there not being an active price out on things.
I likely can't afford it, but are any of these fairy dragons for sale? They're magnificent and beautiful, and if they're not, that's okay. I don't want to overstep.
All of my creatures are for sale as long as they're okay to go with whoever they would like to go with. Tinkle there obviously seems to have some sort of allergy to you, so maybe not her. However, there are plenty others in here. I try not to name all of them, but I just can't help it. If there's anything that you want, we can always work out a price for things, and it seems that you're going to do some work for me tomorrow if you're joining those other groups. Do you know them that well?
I'm going to be honest, I don't. But I don't know a ton of people, but they're very kind from what I know. I saw that they let a stranger sit with them and they poured their hearts out onto the table, and it seemed like it was hard for some of them, but I think that's a very brave thing to do. So if you can do that at the dinner table, I can't imagine what they're like outside.
Very kind indeed. However, they seem a bit reckless is the word. I told them repeatedly. A lot. I shouted it very many times. Not to harm the rock that was attacking. I get that it was attacking, so I can't be mad at them. But if they are going to go help out and try and help get the rock eggs, that would be wonderful. But I don't know. You seem very restrained in your manner. Maybe stop them from doing anything too reckless.
Gideon flips to a page near the back of a red little notebook he has that says things I want to try, and one of them says be reckless, and he circles it and goes, "I'll certainly try."
She obviously does not see anything in the book. She says, "I like to make notes too." But yes, if you could, that would be great. They're just babies. They don't know right from wrong, even if they are still in the eggs. I wouldn't want to risk their health. The mother, obviously, some sort of curse befell it. I don't know. They don't normally have black feathers like that. It's odd. Just be careful when you're out there and try and keep your, 4 eyes open.
He like cleans his glasses, just kind of like, okay.
She also, with her very circular glasses, just kind of gives a little tap to him.
Yeah, Gideon's just gonna keep wandering around the store, and then eventually, like when it gets dark enough, he's gonna wander back to the inn. But yeah, Gideon has a little bit of a spring in his step right now.
Oh, Gideon, being able to converse with people, you tell Mabel bye even before the door is closed. You start to hear her yell in a not mean way, but in a like, "What are you doing?" Behind the door to some of her pets. You're certain that she was putting on some sort of front, as things might have looked like they were in a clean and okay spot, but were in disarray in her mind and needs to be fixed. You head back over to the inn. You spent maybe about an hour and a half, 2 hours there just looking at things and taking in all the different wonderful creatures that she has. And that was just inside the store, let alone the stables out back, before you head over to the inn. The people that you met before, all asleep. It is maybe about 5, 6 o'clock. It's about dinner time at this point. They all mentioned that they were going to sleep at the very least. You plan to converse with them tomorrow, but is there anything that you specifically need to be doing tonight before bedtime?
Not particularly. I think Gideon's just going to like take he's got like a little kind of clip thing for some papers, and he's going to start organizing those. So he took notes on like everybody in the party and whatnot, just like little things about them.
Mm-hmm.
And he just starts organizing them. But he takes them and he looks at a book that has nothing in it yet. And he writes on the front, "My friends," and he puts the notes of them on there.
Oh, someone's trying to get points of inspiration from the god of chatter and whispers.
I will make you all cry again.
Right. As Gideon sits down and begins writing the notes to himself, my friends, eventually sleep begins to take him as decide to retire for the night. You head up to your room after you are not currently a adventurer, so you do have to pay to stay here. But you head up to your room, put on your PJs, and head to bed. Before Xenia, Team, Summer, and Salt, you're all planning to go to your rooms to go to bed. Was there anything you were wanting to do before the beginning of the next day? Beautiful. Right. So, after a long sleep, especially for one boy who has not slept in 1,100 years. He slept for 1,000 years at one point, but it was not the kind of sleeping with your eyes closed, more of the sleeping of the decaying kind, and the long nap, as they call it. Team, you quite literally sleep like the dead, and you know what that's like. You sleep hard. As you hit the bed and the pillow, you thought sleep, you kind of convinced yourself that it was something that it was a weakness that you had to do at some point, and now being an unwilling, you were actually kind of happy that you didn't have to do that. It was more time to focus, more time to, prepare things. But the feeling of a good night's sleep after a long day and sore muscles hits you, and you are out in a deep slumber. You forget what it was like. You forgot what it was like to snore, to have that sort of comforting blanket, that pillow. You forgot what it was like to dream. But more importantly, you forgot what it was like to have a nightmare. Team, in the midst of your sleep, you see yourself back inside your tomb, inside the pyramid in which your body lay. You see the 1,000 years pass over like an eon inside your casket. Claustrophobia setting in. You try to bang your hands on the casket to get out of this stone tomb, this sandstone that is over. You don't have the strength to push this stone off before you see your muscles begin to fall off of your bones. You begin to see the skin fall from your skin, or from your body. You begin to see your scales clack as they hit the ground beneath you, as your bony body starts to stand there, and your muscles fade away before your bones give way. And you sit there for 900 years before you see light for the first time. As your casket, your stone tomb is opened, the light of a torch shines brightly in your eye before a helmed man lean over. He says, "Perfect." Before your vision suddenly returns, and it is the first time you have woken up from sleep in a long time. It is the first time that you have truly slept, and you love it and you hate it. You wake up in a deep, deep sweat. Even your new wings themselves are sweating. You didn't know they could do that.
I assume Zinnia's in the same room.
Oh, yeah.
As I am. Did that wake her up? Me jolting up?
I would say no. Zinnia had a solid need for a night's rest as well. So she is in her deep slumber, though absent the nightmares that you experience.
As quietly as possible, I'd like to pick up Ada and try and get out of the room without being...
Ada sits there in a ball of bones. You pick up Ada, feeling the bones on your fingers for the first time, not being flesh. You just kind of shove that out of your mind before you pick up Ada like a football under your hands, or a baby. Either one, same thing. As you walk over to the door, open it, close from behind, standing in the hallway. Salt, Summer, you hear a door close. The door adjacent to you. You're more on the run-esque people than Zinnia is. And so light door closes that are nearby have always alerted you, enough to where both of you kind of suddenly sit awake with your tails kind of sticking straight up in alertness before you you hear the door close nearby as you wake up in your rooms. Before we go to you, team, where are you headed?
I assume we're upstairs, right?
Oh, yeah.
Where the rooms are? Okay.
Yep.
In that case, I'm going to make my way downstairs and outside.
Okay.
And I'm going to use my new wings and go flap up on top of the building.
Okay. As you're going down to there then, Salt, Summer, you slowly start waking up as you hear heavy footsteps walking away from where you're at. Team, you walk outside. It's a dewy morning. Those bells are not out waking everybody up. It is no longer their day of worship, as only a few people are out in this morning. The sun is just beginning to rise. Your feet touching the grass outside the Red Wagon Inn. The grass between your toes. You actually take your boots off for just a moment before putting them in your other hand and trying with your wings to fly upwards. I need you to roll me an athletics check.
It's a 17 plus 4.
21. After figuring out how the wings worked last time and the general excitement of that beginning to wear, you start to begin to fly upwards with your wings. Your eyes kind of glow a bronzish color before you, almost like a very, very high jump, fly up just enough to get to the roof of the Red Wagon Inn. Somersault, those footsteps you heard before as you're kind of getting ready, you now hear a loud thud on the top of the roof. 14,
I'll go check it out, sis.
you sit at the top. Summer?
Yeah, okay. Be safe.
Okay. And I quickly scurry out to see what the noise was.
Salt, you open up your window on the side. Being that you're a rat folk, it's quicker for you to be able to just climb on the outside of the window than it would be to go down and up. It wouldn't even be anything that you would think of as a rat folk to go down and then back up. That would be stupid. So you pop open the window, head outside, climb on the side of the wall, close the window before scurrying up to the top. You pull up and over. Are you trying to be stealthy about this?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Roll me a stealth roll.
14 plus numbers is 20.
20. As you pull yourself up on the gutter, you see Team sit down and set Atta onto the side of the roof there. As Team looks off towards the city, his wings kind of just spread out across his shoulders as he looks out at the city. Team, what are you doing?
Just sitting, looking at the city. Trying to get my mind off of a nightmare.
Got you. Salt,
I will follow.
you're going to go up 2 team?
I don't know about this guy. Is he really my friend, or is he just covering the bones and being over the top of my friend?
Roll a general intelligence check.
It's a good roll. That would be
Good high or good low?
17 in total.
17 in total. Zinnia seems to know what she's talking about. You've never doubted her ability to heal things, and you've never thought that she might not be able to do that. However, you have some hesitation, but you're more likely to trust Zinnia and her word than you would be what he says. So you take that into account.
Understood.
Okay. Do you just kind of wait here, go up top, go back with your sister?
No, I'm gonna follow. I'm gonna stay close because if it's just team, well then maybe he might need my help. And if it's not team, I want to be close so he can't get away.
Salt, you hop up onto the roof, onto the tiles. You see a few loose ones and quickly avoid those with your stealth roll as you head over to the back of the chimney enough to where you can sit on this stone chimney away from him to where you can still hear and see team by looking out of the corner of your eye and your peripheral vision to where if he moves, you'll catch him, but mostly you're just here to make sure that he's okay if it is him. As team, you sit up there after your nightmare. Summer, you sit alone in your room for just a moment. It's a rough day yesterday for you. Anything you're needing to be doing this morning?
I'm gonna get the eggs out this morning. I'm gonna do it really, really carefully. And kind of probably taking them out of the hat for the last time, perhaps. I know that they're gonna be damaging the hat, and thinking about how I'm gonna transport them to the menagerie.
Okay.
So I'll reach inside. I'm assuming Penguin's asleep.
Out and asleep, yeah.
Still. Yeah. I'm going to reach inside and delicately try and one by one take them out and place them in the room.
Summer, as you try and stretch the lid of your hat open enough for the eggs to be able to plop out and through, they are still quite large. I need a strength check for the first one.
Ooh, 10.
10, okay. Again, you start to hear a few seams pull pretty heavily on the hat as the first egg, boom, plops out as a loud boom hits the ground. Zinnia, you hear some loud, almost like a hammer or a chest falling onto the ground from a height in the room nearby.
This is a new place. She's gonna take note of it, but she's not gonna do anything about it for now.
Summer, you go for the next egg. Roll me another strength check.
3.
3 total, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you try your best to easily move this thing out of the way to where the eggs can get out of there in a nice manner and so that none of the scales can pull on the edge of your hat, you hear a real rip in the hat as the brim of your hat falls open. What all do you have in your pack?
Oh my goodness.
Just to clarify for a moment, wasn't it the opposite way? Low rolls were the good ones and high rolls were the bad ones?
Correct, but I forgot about that. And
Fair enough.
we can. I can fare with that. Mostly, I definitely did forget about that. So I'm fine with high rolls. So I'll give you I'll give you that one. I can retcon that one. That was my bad. I'm happy to be corrected properly. So I'm good for that.
Sorry, Ryan.
I thought there was like I thought you were doing like damage or something and adding these numbers up. Some real like sneaky
No.
DM.
He writes down on a piece of note. Well, I am now.
Medusa Penguin's not in the hat at the moment.
All right. So go ahead and roll for the third one then. Thanks for the correction. My bad.
8.
It was a long time ago that we did that. All right. Okay. So good. 8. You do not hear a rip. You imagine a rip as if you had a nightmare as you plop the third egg out as it boom, boom falls to the ground. Gideon, with your insanely perceptive skills, you have a room on the first floor. Our group is on the third floor. As you hear a boom, boom. It's based on the distance. That's quite loud where it landed, though. It sounds like nothing but a whisper from where you're at that wakes you from your sleep.
Gideon like sits up, has like the frizziest hair on the planet. Like it's big, but it's just like foam everywhere. And he starts like making himself like a little like hair lather thing. And as he does, he goes because he's super tired. Bean Illum, and from his bag a little orb floats up. And it's this pink little globe with like small cat ears and a cat face on it, and it lights up the room with the light spell. He has like a little drift globe that looks like a child's nightlight that he carries with him. So it's lit up the room for him, and he's currently just soaking his hair so it's not everywhere.
The descriptor of the globe. We talked about the globe, but I didn't know how you were going to make it look. I love it. As a,
It's so
of course,
cute.
with the little chubby cheek and everything. As the little cat nightlight illuminates the room in a pink glow as you get your hair ready for the morning. Zinnia, again, you hear several more thumps. However, Summer, you have the 3 large dragon eggs laying out on the ground before you.
Okay. Hi guys. So, we're here. We got here. I'm gonna take you somewhere safe now, where you're gonna have somebody that's gonna be able to take care of you until your mummy can come home. But it does mean that I'm not gonna get to see you for a while. I don't really know if dragon eggs can read. I guess probably not, but maybe I can write you some letters and then they can be read to you, and maybe you'll still be able to hear me. But I just wanted you to know that, man, I love you guys, and it's gonna be okay, and maybe the next time I see you, you'll be out of the eggs. And I give them a little tiny knock on each of them, and I kind of wrap them up and try and warm them as much as I can.
Roll me a perception check real quick.
11.
11. Okay. Yeah, you give them a little pat, wrap them up, try and keep them as warm as you can before you hear Penguin McCool like, yeah, they're not even born yet. They're going to be fine. He pulls the pillow like over his head. He's like, it's fine. Just before you hear him snore back under the pillow, trying not to show any sort of wholesome side. Penguin McCool being the pure opposite of Gideon.
I'll just giggle a little bit and run up, like sneak up to the bed and really gingerly like lift his head and put it on my lap and pat him and look at the eggs.
Summer, you sit there for a moment, just guarding over the eggs before time passes for a while. Zinnia, you hear the noises. You slowly kind of do that. Excuse me. You slowly cough. You slowly do that like morning where you just kind of want to lay in bed for a little bit before probably about half an hour passes, maybe about an hour. You just sit there where you're kind of in a half state of sleep before, all right, not falling back asleep, time to get up. At that, Gideon has spent the time kind of fixing his frizzy do, getting his nightlight ready, putting his regular clothes back on, neatly folding his PJs into his pack. So you've sat up there with team for a while before the sun finally begins to fully rise, and it's no longer a red morning, but a golden dawn that arises. Zinnia, you pack your bags and get ready to head downstairs and to meet where you assume team is and your companions. Gideon, you've already started your cup of tea for the morning as Sophia has set out a few. You mostly specifically asked for the tea. She had a few other bits of ale or grog as needed, but you asked for tea, and so she begrudgingly made you some. As you sit there at the table, Zinnia, you walk down from the stairs, seeing that strange man that you met before at a table alone. Oh, never mind.
Actually, before she gets down, she's going to wake up, she's going to stretch, and then she's going to take a few minutes to look through her book and then pray to her God and then prep herself for the day. And while she's doing that, she's gonna look at one of her spells and it's like, sending. Oh, Robert. Oh, we're supposed to talk to Robert. And she turns to Team's bed. Team, we're supposed to. Oh, Team's not here. Okay, and then she'll start to pack everything up and then kind of scurry downstairs so she can get the team together to talk to Robert.
Get the team together as you're looking for team. Got it. Do you stop at Summer's room then to check on them, or do you just head down?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Summer, you do hear a knock at the door before Zinnia kind of lets herself in after a brief wait. Before Zinnia, you see Summer sitting on the bed with Penguin McCool sleeping on her lap there, his head on her lap, and the 3 dragon eggs out and up against the nightstand.
Oh, wow. You look kind of busy. I just wanted to get us all together and maybe talk to Robert this morning. We haven't talked to him in a few days and just want to check up on that Dragonborn man.
Bree, you're muted, unless you're whispering to make sure you don't wake Penguin McCool, in which case, great RP.
I was whispering. Almost inaudibly. That's fine. Do you want to bring everyone in here? I had to get the eggs out. I just wanted to, kind of say goodbye before we give them away, but I can't really take them downstairs
Yeah.
right now.
And I don't think they should be left alone anyway, so yeah, I can try to get everyone and come back up.
Yeah, plus Penguin.
Oh, sorry.
He kind of stirs in his sleep, but you can tell he didn't wake up.
Okay, did you want breakfast? I'll come back with breakfast.
I'm okay. I think the boys are on the roof.
Oh, she remembers team has wings. Got it. Okay, I'll be back. Gonna slowly close the door. And then go downstairs to see if she can find a way up to the roof, maybe like a ladder on the side of the building or something.
Zinnia, as you run down, this is where you see the man that you met yesterday sitting there having his tea. Gideon, the first of the companions that you met and your new friends that you've written into your book makes their way down alone, but seeming to be in a hurry heading towards the front door.
Gideon goes to wave, but like sees they're in a rush, and then he just does that, like puts his hand down, and then he just like kind of sits back in his chair a little bit.
Got you.
Nia will take a double take to kind of rush to the door, see Gideon go. Oh wait, and then wait. You're the guy who helped my friend yesterday, right?
Yes.
From
You're referring to
splattering.
falling?
Yeah, from splattering to his death.
Yes, that was me.
I'm sorry. What was your name again?
Gideon.
Gideon. Nice to see you again.
Yes, it's nice to re-meet you, Zinnia.
I'm gonna go look for the rest of my friends, and we're gonna have like a little hangout in the room. If you wanted to come later after I find them, you're invited.
He like goes to like jumps up a little bit, but then does the whole, I would be down with hanging out.
So cool.
Yeah. They're on the roof for some reason, so I'm gonna go get them, and then we'll come back.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to hand getting up to the roof? Like,
I don't even know how to get there, to be honest.
well, I'm gonna pack up my stuff as I just finished prepping my spells and stuff, and I'm gonna walk outside with Zinnia to see what the layout outside is.
Zinnia, you and Gideon head out to a beautiful golden morning. Dew kind of slowly evaporating off the ground. It's a little bit humid here, but it's a nice 80 degrees Fahrenheit as the proper form of measurement from everybody else in the world. As Zinnia, Gideon, you look up several feet and inches, the imperial system up instead of the metric. Also the other proper form of measurement. Just kidding. You crane your necks up to look up to the top. No. Metric's the way to go. But I will not ever get used to Celsius. As you look up, you see a bronze dragonborn glistening in the sun, sitting up there, petting a bone onto the side of him. As you see just Atta sitting there in a pile. As You look up. He's sitting just kind of perched on the very crest of the roof at the top, looking off to the side. You don't think that he's seen or really noticed you yet, as he is what would be about 4 stories up, at least the bottom of the 4th story, top of the 3rd floor. As you take a look up at that in there, but he's not terribly far. You could definitely shout to get his attention.
Hey.
Good morning.
Ah, fuck. That's a sight to see. It's time to talk to Robert if you wanted to.
As I don't know if I was able to hear her say that's a sight to see, but he's gonna check to make sure he's still wearing the pants.
Oh God! As you're now realizing you could be what's the word? Dangling.
Yeah.
As you look down at your borrowed capri pants from the man that she is standing nearby with, as you've got these nice pressed khakis on that go barely past your knees, but they are on.
This
This is
Gideon, remember?
I
Hello.
do. Hello. I remember there. In the face.
Gideon's face goes a little red.
Salt, you also hear all this from where you're at as well. Just
Is
FYI.
Salt with you?
I did not see him. Did he come up here?
He's not with Summer.
Do I hear this?
Salt?
Oh yeah.
I sort of sneak my head out of the roof and sort of wave down to Zinnia.
Team, you're like, Salt. You look around before Salt is peering out from behind the chimney off to the other side. Zinnia, you're kind of looking around for him before he peers on the other side of the roof, just waving at you. You're certain that Team can't see him from his location.
We're gonna call Robert if you wanted to. Gonna go back to Salt and Summer's room.
I just have to figure out how to get back down.
That is something you should figure out soon. I really don't know how to help Gideon.
I mean, if he jumps, I can help again, but otherwise.
I don't want you to waste, your energy for the day. Stretch, wing, stretch.
Can I
wing,
give
stretch.
like a check or something to like? I don't know if this is like a distant help action or something, but to like point out like the best route down, like a perception check or something like that.
For sure. Yeah, roll perception. You can aid him in his athletics or acrobatics jump off.
Do that.
Sorry. For Jakey's clarification, whenever we do aiding and things like that, what you'll do is you'll be giving Team advantage on what he does.
Okay, cool. I was just
yeah.
double checking.
Yeah, no worries.
My perception was a 23.
Not to brag, but yeah. So, Team, as Gideon does look around, depending on what you roll and how you choose to get down, he can help you out there.
Let's do some acrobatics. I'm feeling spry for a young old guy.
How do you try and get down, Team?
I'm gonna do
You are
some
about
flip,
40 feet up in the air.
and then I'm gonna do a cartwheel, and then we're gonna grab the corner and spread out the wings, and then like do a double helix flip, and then I don't know. I'm probably
Team-
just gonna climb down.
Walks to the edge, where, like a high diver does, where they put just their tiptoes on the very edge of the building. This very much scares you, Xenia, as you know bludgeoning damage is not something that he likes to take. However, maybe he's feeling bold and risky. Before Team does the Assassin's Creed, but backwards fall off, planning to spin a few times on his way down. Gideon, you do point him to a specific corner, the lowest corner, but you thought he was going to at least grab it and like let down or grab some of the windows, but no. That's not how Team choose to go about it. So Team, go ahead and roll an acrobatics at advantage.
Hey, that's a natural 20. I'm not even gonna roll again.
Don't want to curse it with the next one. Okay, yeah. So Gideon, you're...
Actually, before I say that, thank you, Aurora, for the team dice, because I just got a nat 20 with your dice.
Oh, you have some Dawn Spirit dice too? Look at the Dawn Spirit
I
dice.
do.
Oh,
I
look
do.
at
It's
that.
Dawn Spirit dice.
You mean Dawn Spirit
Go
dice?
check them out. Dawn Spirit dice.
Dawn Spirit dice. Right. As we get 10 cents every time we say Dawn Spirit dice. So, team, yeah, you fall backwards. Not really sure what you were planning to do there. Honestly, after the dream you had last night, you're like, whatever. I'm not even sure if I'm awake right now as you try and do the backflip off the side there. However, in a fit of luck, not a fit of skill, in a fit of luck, your wings, still not really sure how to control them, kind of retract on their own and kind of turn into a small glider as you slam into the building on the other side of the street there. However, you slam head first and you're able to kind of block yourself on the side there. So you actually aren't going to take any damage from a nat 20 and only 40 feet up. But it does look very Spider-Man 2 where you lose your powers and slam into the side of the building as you all suddenly see Team glider into the side and land on his feet.
Did I look badass?
That's so cool, so cool. Watch, I can do that too. What? And then I perform the exact same maneuver.
Salt
On the way down.
then follows your lead and goes to the edge and rolls backwards as Giddy and Zania, you were walking over to Team like, you okay? Before you hear Salt like, I can do it too.
No.
You could still have advantage because you're still using the same point that Gideon pointed out.
So that is a 25.
25, solid. At 40 feet up, as you fall backwards doing the same thing. Zania, you look over kind of with a smile after seeing Team slam into the building. You look back like, wait a minute, before Salt falls backwards. He does like the superhero landing, like one knee down into the ground before
You
Salt's
just hear a little crackle from the knee.
ta-da, ta-da, as Salt. You will take a little bit of damage, not a nat 20's worth, but you still you take 3 bludgeoning damage. But it was totally worth it for cool and style points. So if you don't have a point, you can take it because that is a very Salt thing to copy and acrobatics.
Let's do that again, team. Let's do that again.
I think that might have been a one-time thing for me.
As Team
No,
has
if you
a
do
bit
it
of a
enough
bloody
times,
nose.
it's no longer one time.
I'm gonna pick up a trick I saw from Keenak and just stick my tongue out and lick the blood off my nose.
You're like, oh, that's why he did that. Very irony. As the 4 of you stand outside the Red Wagon Inn. The shopkeeper in the building that you slammed into comes running out and looking. It's an old lady with graying red hair that leans out the side and says, "Hey,
Hello.
hello."
Ta-da!
Sorry, there was a giant bug. We smashed it. It's good.
She
Everything's
looks.
great.
She looks over. She comes out. She has a rag in her hand, and she sees the blood on the wall. Thank you. Before she wipes it away and
No
heads back
problem.
inside, closes the door. As the 4 of you stand outside, sans summer, but Zania, you did mention you wanted to send to Rarbert.
Robert.
Yeah.
Gideon, you get to come sit with us. I hope you're not busy.
Yeah, let me check my itinerary. No, I'm free.
Perfect.
Okay.
Well, let's go find Summer.
Yeah, in the room. She's Penguin might be still sleeping, so just keep it down a little bit.
Well, he can wake up. It's time to wake up.
You said it, not me.
Okay, good. Let's go. Come,
Team-
Gideon.
A new found lease on life goes with a giddy step before walking open in the door and leading the rest of the people do. However, as you walk through the door, your wings clip the side and you have to kind of pull them in. It's going to take you a bit to get used to that before you walk up the stairs up to where Summer's room is. You knock but open the door loudly as the door slams to the side. As Summer, Team, as the door slams to the other side, Penguin wakes up in your lap and has like little fins, like karate hands up and ready, but still laying down in your lap in the bed.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You're looking very lively today, Tim.
Yes, I even got a bloody nose.
He reaches to the
Congratulations.
nightstand and grabs his cinnamon cigarette.
I magic what he needs.
Magic a ring of smoke. Says, warn somebody before you wake him up like that. Before all of you
It is-
recognize
get the heart pumping.
that this is a small room. as we described before, as you're like, hey, come on, everybody, get in here. Doing so, Salt sneaks between your legs and runs through and goes and hops on the bed with his sister. The 3 dragon eggs taking up most of the hallway. Xenia, Team, Gideon, you all kind of have to do that, like shuffle by each other, like, oh, excuse me. Especially Team, as you go to sit on the bed, you take up the majority of it as your wings
I want the
spread
wings
out.
to just like unfurl and then like tuck back up.
Exactly. They kind of slam Gideon, who sits on the side of the bed. Not hard, but just kind of it pushes you against the other side before you're like, oh, sorry, as you pull the wings back in. Xenia, you stand up there, choosing not to get into this huddled mess of people, just standing in the room with the 3 dragon eggs quite large at your feet. Gideon, those dragon eggs are bigger than anything you saw at Mabel's shop, probably twice as big as the other dragon eggs.
Gideon's gonna be like kind of scrawling them down and just like drawing sketches of them once again. But Gideon also looks like he's cheeking something because up the stairs he took some mint leaves and started chewing on them to make sure he had good breath for like talking with his new friends. So he's like doing this awkward like
Small
trying not to show it to
confined
anyone.
area. Oh, don't worry about it when he pulls the wings back. Before all of you are in the room currently, Penguin McCool sits
Brian,
on the edge
can
of the
I-
bed. Yep.
Can I see if I notice him chewing that?
Oh, totally. Roll perception. This would be a passive unless you're actively looking at something. It would be more Gideon using a stealth roll on that.
I'll stealth roll. It's probably. Oh, that's actually not bad. That's a 17, only +1, so 18.
18. This is not something that is fairly obvious to anyone, being that you're
yawn.
not actively looking for what people are eating. Unless you're skeptical of your new friend in this room, then that is justifiable. But I
Not
don't
yet.
know if Salt is. Okay. You are all currently in the room. What are you doing?
Let us talk to Robert.
Should I? Hi, Gideon, is it? That's right, Gideon.
That's me. Yes. Hello.
Hi. What you doing? What? You just having a little scribble there?
I was just drawing the eggs in the center of the room. They're very big.
They are very big. They're also a very big secret. So you're not gonna go ahead and so he's just here now, guys. Is that right?
Sorry I invited him. He kind of saved Team's life yesterday, so sorry, Summer.
Sure.
I like him. Look at this hair.
Yep. Hair he has got. Can you just
Lots of
not
pouches.
show anyone the very top secret sketches of these eggs?
I have no one to show.
Oh,
I
that's a
don't
bit-
mean to sound rude or anything, but from what you were saying yesterday, you had no friends, you know no one.
Yes, that's completely accurate. I know my mom and my dad, and they probably wouldn't have much interest in dragon eggs. So this is top secret. Hush, hush. I can even burn the book if it makes you feel better after. This is just for
I mean, you
archiving.
don't have to burn the book or anything. I just something you should keep in mind is that I'm quite good at, stabbing people and making them go crazy from the inside out of their brains. So if you do anything to hurt my eggs, I'm gonna kill you.
My little tail comes around across my neck like this.
So anyway, we're calling Robert now.
Gideon, while the whole with what Summer just said, just like kind of pauses for a moment, and goes, "You know what? I will hang out with you guys later. I'm not feeling great." And he gets up and leaves abruptly.
For
When
he has to
he
slide
passes-
by you. Yeah.
He passes by.
Should
me.
I follow him, sis? Do we trust him?
What's trust anymore? You
I
do.
don't know, you have hurt his feelings.
Xenia gives several come on guys, hand gestures
like-
to all of you.
Passing by, and just he clearly has no friends.
I mean, it's fine. I'll be his friend, but it's still, it still stands to reason that if he hurts my eggs, I'm just being truthful, right? Which is apparently hard for some people.
You're being a
Ooh.
protective mama bear.
Yeah, I mean, he's fine as long as he doesn't hurt them. But if he does, I'll kill him. I mean,
I mean, these are all fair, valid points.
Yeah. So
Zinnia, can you prepare your spell? I want to go check on our new friend.
Sure, yeah. Sit down.
I get up, wings swings around, flopping everywhere.
Zinnia kind of like slams you against the wall as his wings kind of push by. As
It's okay. It's okay.
team, you run after Gideon. Gideon, tell me what you were doing as you hear someone quickly coming after you. After they threaten to kill you.
Definitely Gideon gets like much more anxious, and he's gonna go down the stairs a little quicker, because now he's just like like I just need to like take a little 5 minute. But Gideon's gonna head to his room, and he's just gonna kind of sit and take a bit of a breather, because I think for Gideon, like his headspace is like this was a lot of socializing very quick, and then we were just in like a very tight room together, and I think Gideon's just a little overwhelmed. So I think he's just like running to his room basically. He's not trying to avoid anyone. It's just like that was a lot very quickly, and then it got to threats, and then so it wasn't even the matter of it. It was just like tons thrown at him.
Team, as you are quickly trying to catch up to him down the stairs to talk to him, you kind of see him at the corner of each turn down the stairs and down the next floor, just barely catching the last foot of him. You'll catch him as you get to him before you get to the first floor and turn to look, as you see his pink pastel shirt arm close the door to his room behind very abruptly. You hear of the lock close on the other side.
I'm gonna go sit by the door. Have Otta come over as well.
This team comes and sits down. Gideon, somebody's watching you outside the door, listening to you.
I'm not listening. I'm just sitting outside the door, and I say, "Are you okay?" I'm sorry, the little one is scary. She scares me sometimes too.
No, it's not that I was scared or anything. I think that was just a very small room, and there was just a lot going on.
It was a very.
I'm
small
sorry.
room.
I didn't mean to worry you or anything. I just, it's a tight crowd. You guys are doing some kind of call-in things, and I just met you guys. And I think your friend has a fair point. That's a tiny room for your group of friends. I don't want to push my luck or anything. So, yeah.
Well, I will just say you are welcome to hang out with us anytime. If you need some time alone to yourself, that is perfectly fine. I understand. That's all I wanted this morning up on the roof. But I guess with friends, you don't. You get friends, but you also don't get so much alone time. So I get it. Feel free to come on up whenever you want. We will be up there.
Thanks, Tim. I appreciate it a lot.
Gideon, as you say, I appreciate it a lot. You hear from outside the door. Just a horrible growling noise as team you hear. I like him. I hope he comes back. As you two.
Atta says he likes you, by the way.
As you two begin heading back up, as Gideon sits silently in his room, heading back up. Zinnia, Summer, Salt, you're there, getting ready to send to Robert.
I'm gonna cross my legs, take my little spell book out, take my copper wire out and start to adjust it. But before I do that, I'm like, so I don't have many words I can transfer over. There's a whole spiritual timeline. Anyways, what should I say?
Am I back in the room yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
Oops.
I mean, if it's time-based, I can get a lot of words in really, really quickly. But if it's only a certain amount of words, I'm probably not the best person to come up with a little amount of words, because I like to think of lots of words because it helps really explain everything that's going on. And if you don't explain very much that's going on really quickly, then you don't really explain everything, and then you miss out, and then you don't know what's going on.
I agree with all your points. All true. Unfortunately, they are words. It's a word limit, man. It's like, the spirits gotta bring these words over across the world, and they can only carry so many.
Maybe you need a rattling spirit, because a rattling spirit could get a lot more words out really, really quickly.
Could they? we could we can work on it, figure it out.
Yeah.
I don't have that prepared today, and I'm still, in communication with my god, and they're unfortunately not a rattling, but maybe someday. That's all.
What do we have to do? What do we have to say? Like, are you alive? Where's your brother? Right?
Or are you alive, or have you found your brother? Are you alive? How you doing?
Sania kind of laughs to herself, trying to figure out, like, what do we say to somebody? How do we send a magical message to a friend? What is it that we do here?
And he'll remember me, right? Do you think the desert doesn't make people forgetful, right? Because a lot of people have been forgetting their memories recently. So, I don't know.
Yeah. It's hard to know.
Yeah. I know. Team didn't want us to talk about him, but I kind of want to. But that's on Team to tell Robert, but I kind of want to.
Should Robert know that since he's left that Team died?
Again, that's on Robert. I mean, on Team, I don't. It's not my to say. It's not my life.
Yeah, that might make him feel a bit bad for leaving, though, if he found out that Team died while he wasn't there.
Yeah. Oh,
And we
yeah.
wouldn't want to make him feel guilty.
And then,
But it's important that he knows everything that's going on, so maybe we should mention it.
but then, what if he feels guilty for losing another brother? But then I'm gonna say, oh, but he's back. But he's, I don't want to lie at all. But she'll cross her hands and she'll just wait like a little kid, like at school, and be like, I think I'll just wait for Team.
I mean, we can do it. We can figure it out. I don't know if maybe Team can't figure it out yet because he's like all fleshy and stuff, and he's not really as bony, and maybe doesn't talk the same way that Robert will recognize, and that might scare Robert. So maybe if it does come from us, he'll recognize us.
Yeah.
Here's what I'd say.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I'd say, dear Robert,
Mm-hmm.
we hope you're alive because for a period some of us weren't. That's not directly your fault. Did you find your brother?
That's 18 words.
Succinct.
That sounds like it covers everything.
Mhm.
I mean, we could have mentioned a rock. That would have been exciting too, but we probably can't actually add that in right now. Maybe tomorrow.
Have we got 2 words left?
A rock. We can maybe like a rock.
We have a few. I have a feeling it might be like 7, not to be exact or anything. But
7. That's plenty.
You don't, and then in capitals, need to feel guilty.
Hey sis, that's really good. That only is 1 word left. We have an extra word.
Bye. I think it's solid.
That sounds perfect.
Team, about this time you open the door to come on in. Your friends discussing. You're not sure if they've already finished this message or not. Before you close the door behind and sneak again by Jackie or Zinnia as you're. Oh, sorry.
Excuse me. So sorry. Wow.
Heading back over to the bed.
Okay. Are we ready to come up with the message?
okay, so I have some points, and then I have a full sentence as given by Summer. First 3 points.
I'm sure it will be great and loving.
We all helped.
Okay, yeah. So just to sum it up, dear Robert, hope you're alive. Some of us weren't, not entirely your fault. Have you found your brother? Oh, I can't read my. You don't need to feel guilty.
Bye.
That sounds like
Bye.
terrible. No. That
And
sounds
then
like
need should be in capitals. Like
Need.
Big need.
Need. She kind of like looked like help me out, please. I don't want to say no. I know. This is what she's gonna try to say with her eyes. I know Summer is in not a good emotional state right now, so just please, I'm gonna listen to her, but help me out here because I know it doesn't sound good.
With her eyes.
I don't like this at all. He can respond, yes?
Yes. And if we want to talk back, then I have to use more of my energies.
We really need to find a sending. Well, with that, I don't like it. It sounds very guilty. Like,
I mean,
Are you
he
guilty?
doesn't-
I'm
you-
trying to think of word. Guilt, guilt trip. No, guilt. Is that the word? Guilt
Oh.
trip.
Guilt trip is a
Accusatory?
phrase, yes.
So he
Accusatory?
doesn't.
Atta.
Yeah,
Yes, Atta. That's I like that.
he doesn't need to feel guilty.
There's no point to add that in there.
Team, are you okay though? You did like fall off a building today on
Fact.
purpose,
Well, yes, I
right?
jumped.
Maybe you're just not thinking straight. Did you actually get some sleep?
Yes, I did.
Are you sure? Because I saw you get out early.
Can I not wake up early? Is that
You don't
not
normally wake
something
up,
that
so I'm.
meet people
So
do?
no.
Well,
You never
yes,
sleep.
because before yes. Salt. Things gonna
I'm worried
cool
about
down.
you.
I don't know why you are worried. Look, I am me.
I sort of stepped
So-
back
so-
a
so-
little bit, just a little flinch.
How are you
I-
more afraid of this than actual skeleton? Like that is truly terrifying.
You're my bony
Like,
friend.
You see a
I
skeleton
love
in a
your little
spooky
bones.
dungeon. Like
You let me pull your
that's
bone out and
spooky.
play with it, and then you like showed me how to take care of bones and take them out. It was really wonderful. And now I can't even go for your
And
bone
now
anymore.
Now I am a flesh and blood person. You can stab me. That's how you kill me now. So
I don't
it's
like to
just
stab
the
you.
same. It's just the same as if you were to beat me with a bludgeoning weapon when I was once. It's okay. You can still murder me.
But we made
These are
that,
things.
and I brought my hammer. But we have the hammer now.
And I'm sure that would still hurt very much.
I don't know. You have wings. You never told us you had wings.
I didn't have wings.
You see, it's just weird. Something is wrong. I mean, are you okay? Do you need to sleep? You want some
No,
porridge?
I just woke up. I would rather share porridge with Robert, to be completely honest. I would like that first experience to be with him.
I don't. I just. I want to make sure you're okay. I'm worried. I'm worried.
I
I'm
am
worried.
good.
You're acting kind of weird.
If you must know, I had a nightmare, and it was unpleasant.
Have you had a nightmare before?
Not in 1,000 years, no.
Did
But
it
that's also
include
'cause
the
I
bucket?
didn't-
Because the bucket nightmare is the worst.
No, it was more of being trapped in my tomb for 1,000 years, and it's a lot to think about. But no, there was no bucket.
Well, at least that wasn't a bucket nightmare, cause yeah. But that sounds kind of scary too.
Yes. I don't think our message needs to be that way. If it is me personally, I would like it to be a nice message that is just seeing how he is doing.
What about the porridge tastes even better now? And
No. I hate that. No.
well,
Summer.
I just
Summer. It's okay. We are all still here.
well,
He
we're
wanted to go
not.
find his brother. It was important to him.
Well, maybe we just ask him if he's found his brother.
I mean, I don't know with your current state of whatever it is you have with Salt, but if Salt was to go missing, would you not go find him?
That yeah, of course I would find Salt.
It's the same thing for our,
But if he's dead, yeah.
but we don't know. He doesn't know. He wants to find his body. He wants to make sure it's laid to rest. I understand. I just want to make sure he is all right. He is doing fine, and we can tell him everything that has happened once we get back.
Well, okay. How about you've got fingers now? Why don't you start writing something?
We miss you. Hope you are well. Did you find your brother yet?
Tim's dead. No,
Yeah.
Um,
Team is now different. No longer
Tim's
team.
alive.
He's
That's
fleshy
shocking.
being with wings.
I feel like we can leave that as a surprise.
It was a surprise, that's for sure.
We have a surprise for you when we see you again, and porridge. Sound good? That way we don't make him feel bad while he's already looking for his most likely deceased brother. Because you
He could
love
feel-
him, Summer.
Okay.
Love him.
All
It's
right.
not the worst if he feels just a little bit bad. Not like a
Well,
lot, like he doesn't need to feel
how
bad,
about-
but just
how
maybe
about
like
this?
a little bit bad.
Once we find a sending stone and we can talk to him more frequently without using Zinnia's magical capabilities, you can tell him all you need to get off your chest.
Okay.
But we only get to talk to him at least once every other day. So until we can talk to him more frequently, let's at least keep it nice.
Well, fine, but I'm whispering bad things.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fair.
All right. I get my wire, and then I form it like a little like a circle and then a stick, like I'm gonna blow bubbles through it, and it's gonna be like. Okay, before I start, hi Robert. We miss you. Hope you're doing well. Did you find your brother yet? We have a surprise when we see you.
Feel guilty.
And porridge.
So read it all out to me at once without the pauses and the counting.
All right. Hey, Robert, we miss you. Hope you're doing well. Did you find your brother yet? We have a surprise when we see you, and porridge.
You wait for some time as you hold the copper wire, almost like a handheld microphone before, like the top is the circular time of the old-timey microphones in your hand, as red glow begins to emanate around it as you whisper through it and begin talking, as you see red energy fly off to the southwest, away from the room. You're certain that it went flying off. You wait for about a minute before you hear a message back. Good to hear from you, Zinnia. Not sure how this works. I've never done this before. Matter of fact, this is quite awesome. Will we be able to communicate like this for some time? I have quite a lot to tell you. Before his message gets cut off,
My
as he has
lovable idiot.
never had to do sending, and you definitely didn't explain how it works to him.
Yeah. Okay. You guys, I might have messed up a little bit. This is new to me too. He didn't understand it, so he might have spent the limit confused, but happy, but confused.
I tell you, we should
He's
have used
alive.
rat folk singing, right? The rat folk spirits, for sure.
Did he sound like he felt a little guilty?
He
He
sounded
was gonna
surprised.
look at Zinnia and like
Yeah.
give her a nod.
I'm imagining it's like Zinnia, Summer, and then team behind Summer, so she
Nod.
can't see.
Nod.
Surprised, but very, very guilty. Yeah. But he was kind of talking for a little bit. But I mean, I kind of miss the guy, and I don't mind talking to him again.
Look,
know.
alive and guilty sounds perfect. It sounds exactly how he should be.
Yeah. Did you want for me to talk to him again so we can get a definite answer?
Wait, so you can use more than 25 words? You can do it again and again and again?
I mean, I can do it again, and then like if we get hurt later, I don't know if I could help us. You know what I mean?
Are we going on this adventure to get these eggs today? Because we might want to
And we got to deliver the other
not
egg.
die again. Some of us died yesterday. Maybe we could save the message for tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean,
I didn't die yesterday. I died 3 times though, but not yesterday.
Well done, Salt.
and I mean, we at least we know he's okay. So the purpose of the message is complete.
We will talk to him again tomorrow.
All right, lovable dork.
Yes, yes.
She'll pray to her god silently, like, please watch over him.
You kind of briefly just bow your head, leaning forward, while the rest of them communicate and talk about what they're going to do, getting their boots on, equipment ready for the day. What's the plan now? Where are we going? What are we doing?
So I don't want to put the babies back in the hat today. Do you think we can carry them? I stroke the eggs.
They look pretty heavy. How heavy are they?
Summer goes to try and like pick them up, but mostly just kind of hugs them. They're pretty heavy, but if we had like a
4.5 wombats each.
Yeah. So that's like I don't even know, 15 wombats or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you're looking at least an elephant and a half.
But if we had like a wagon, like a
There's one hanging outside, sis.
like a little wagon. If we had
You
a little
mean
wagon,
the one that you told him not to steal when we first got here?
well, we don't have to steal that one. Maybe we could just get a similar wagon. Do these guys have like
Yeah, I can borrow a different one.
This is like the flagship inn, right? Do they have like a store or anything?
Like a gift shop with
Yeah.
red wagons?
Like a wagon gift shop, yeah. Can I have a think and see if I've seen any wagons for sale?
Yeah, you can totally roll a history check.
I rolled a nat 20 on my wagon knowledge.
You have seen several stalls outside throughout the city, selling many different things, and, I mean, anybody's probably willing to give up their wagon for the right amount of coin, but you definitely didn't see any of the little pulley red wagons out for sale, nor smaller versions of them, nor plushy versions of them, nor mugs, nor hats. Nothing yet. No Red Wagon Inn merch at the flagship store. Dang, something they should have done. But currently, no merch at the Red Wagon Inn. However, again, several stalls outside within the city.
It's probably about time that we get ourselves, like a traveling vehicle. Especially
Like a real circus.
Yeah, like if we're expanding our party as well, like we've got this new guy that's going to be traveling with us. When Robert comes back, like we're going to have a lot of stuff. Also, don't freak out, but my hat's seen better days.
Can we not just find someone to fix it here? This is a pretty big city.
It's kind of a special hat.
Sis, I told you not to use it every day.
I have noticed that, but at the same token, like, I would assume this is a large city. Someone may know of enchanted items.
It's possible. Yeah. I mean, right now though, if it rips and all my stuff falls out or disappears, I don't really know how it works. We might need something to carry it. So should we? Also, we're gonna have to get these other eggs back, right?
Hat makes a good egg carrier.
Well,
I'm
it
not
doesn't.
disagreeing that we should get some sort of
It gets ripped. It gets real ripped.
thing.
So wagon.
That is also where we keep all our money too. Is in your hand.
Yeah.
That's a lot
And
of
we
money.
yeah. Imagine if that just left.
And then that's not even to include all the money you all have probably stolen throughout your lives. Not calling
we
you
don't
out
steal.
on it.
We borrow.
Hey, you can be honest with me. It is me. I'm not Robert.
Repurpose.
Look, why don't we compromise? You seem fairly attached to that fluffy haired boy. Why don't I try and
He does have very nice hair.
conversation with him and be nice and ask him to come wagon shopping with me?
Are you going to be nice and say it, or do I need to go tell him?
I can be nice. I can be nice.
I mean, you also did threaten to murder him
I
Fairly
know,
enough, if he told anyone about your, like, I understand why you said it.
justifiably. I'm
But
happy-
maybe if you just a wee bit, like, here's this level where you are.
Team.
If you could
I mean,
just
to be
go
fair,
down-
we'd murder anyone who told everyone about the dragons, including you, right? We know you wouldn't do it, but if you told everyone about the dragons, that would be pretty bad.
I mean, I probably wouldn't go and murder Team. I'm not murder happy.
Team just sits there and looks at Salt like, the fuck?
Okay.
We have to
I'll
protect
go
these,
and
right?
I'll go talk to Fluffyhead, and we can get wagon shopping. Can you guys try and
Fluffyhead.
see if you can pick these up?
I'm
So we
going
get
to
to the
attempt to
farm?
pick one up. I'm not a very strong dude.
Don't break them. Oh,
I'm lean and mean, but I'm not very strong.
maybe like a pulley system with a blanket or something.
That's a 15 strength to try and pick up one of these eggs.
Team, you walk over. You're like, I'm lean and mean, but not very strong. Let me. The technique is to only use your back as you lean down to the eggs and push up as best you can. You feel it move off the ground. You get your hands under it. It's like trying to lift up a heavy tire as you pull it up. You can carry one, but you definitely don't want to have to carry this for very long. If we're gonna go, let's get going before you set it down.
While that's happening, Ryan, can I sneakily see if I can take one of his feathers off his wings?
Yeah, if you want to roll a stealth roll or a sleight of hand, either one.
I would love to
mean,
roll a sleight of
I
hand.
have a feeling I'm gonna feel this no matter what. You're plucking a feather out of my
26.
26. As you set the egg down on the ground, team, your
enough.
wing brushes against the egg. You almost set it on it. You're not used to that. As Salt, you have one of Team's ASMR feathers. His ASMR
Put it in my
feathers.
pocket.
As you pocket it to the side. Team, you could definitely carry it, but you'd wanna go quick and not hold it and wander around.
So what we should do is first get the wagon, then do these. How secure are these rooms?
You look over to the
Like,
door.
is someone staying with the eggs, or?
I mean, I don't mind staying with the eggs.
Penguin's a pretty good big brother, right? Little penguin boy.
You just want me to sit here on my rump all day, just looking at eggs.
I mean,
I can send some fish up.
All right, I'll do it. That's not a problem. I just wanted to make sure that's what you wanted. And as he takes the cinnamon, you quickly make some magic. He blows some smoke up into the air. And, maybe a skillet big enough to fry him up.
Penguin, question for you. If someone breaks into this room and tries to take the eggs, what are you going to do to stop them?
I've seen how store clerks work. I'm hoping you have them insured because I'm just going to let them have the eggs because there ain't nothing I'm going to do about it. I may hide under the bed. I'll try to get a good look at them. It's about the best you're going to get out of me. I care nothing for these eggs, let me tell you that much. They crowd up my space in there. Not a big fan of them. Ready to get them gone.
Penguin!
I'm sorry.
Smack him
Look,
on the back of the head.
I know you really like them, but you're planning on getting rid of them anyway. So why is it a crime to say I am excited for the prospect of getting rid of them?
I am not getting rid of the eggs. They're going to, like, a safe little
Away from
nursery.
us. Getting rid of them. Yeah. I'm not saying it's permanent.
Do you want to get in the hat? I will take that stick off you. Don't you tempt me.
Kind of pulls the stick to the side.
I'm slowly sneaking back out of the room.
I think maybe somebody else should watch the eggs then. Is Penguin?
Day and Penguin, you might not have your hat for long, just saying.
Fine, I will watch
Team
the
makes it-
eggs.
You can start walking, mister.
And
I will
his
watch
team
the
makes it
eggs.
halfway out the door.
Mhm.
I think Salt would be good at watching the eggs and slowly closes the door.
Team leaves.
I'd like to think halfway through the conversation, like not even halfway, Gideon eventually like mustered it up, and he's been outside the door the whole time practicing what he's gonna say when he walks back in. So the
Turn
second the
around.
door's open, he gets completely caught off guard and just drops a pile of cue cards.
Team, you see him like
Oh, God.
suddenly pick them up off the ground as Gideon is standing there in the hallway as he's hold on
I'm
pull it
gonna
back up.
help him pick
Stand
up
there.
some cue cards.
Team, you do a meet cute as your fingers touch, grabbing the cue cards. As you're like, oh, sorry,
here,
as you
though.
just hand it over to him. As you pull the cue cards up, Team handed them to you, though out of your particular order, Gideon, as you take a moment just to reorder them back.
We might want to give them just a little bit of time. They seem feisty in there.
Yes, I'm sorry. This is the worst for me to say, and this does not build my case or anything. These doors are not soundproof whatsoever. And yeah, it sounded a little interesting. How do I say this? I rip a sheet of paper in half in front of TM, and then I hold it, and it reverses back in my hands. I'm going to cast Mending in front of him. And just be like,
The coolest magic trick is he rips the paper, throws it up in the air, and as it falls, it lands back down, suddenly not ripped in his hand. See,
This
Kinda
is a
does one
lot
of those
cooler
numbers.
than my magic trick, and Team's gonna do prestidigitation and have sparks just fly in the air.
just a sudden firecracker pops in front of your face. As Zinnia somersault, you hear a boop outside the door.
Mine is not as cool.
So
I
now
think that
keep an
was
eye
awesome.
on that penguin.
I'm sorry.
Keep an eye on that penguin.
I will. And I don't know. Something is telling me that we should get going. I just feel like maybe these eggs might hatch soon or something. I don't know. But I'm getting kind of like distant whispers that the longer we don't do something, the worse our day could be for some reason.
Oh, shit. All right.
Gonna storm again, Zinnia.
I feel the storm coming. It might be that.
Okay. Walk over to the door. Fluffy head.
Summer, as you see Gideon waiting out there, because you thought he was just waiting outside the door the whole time, not that he went down and came all the way back up. So you look out as Gideon, you're holding the cue cards as Summer opens the door immediately. Fluffyhead, you almost drop your key cards again, but do not.
We're gonna go shopping.
oh, okay.
I
Sure,
promise I won't
yes.
kill you.
You know what? Shopping sounds like lots of fun.
Salt,
To the
Zinnia,
carts.
what are you doing?
I am going to be keeping an eye on this shifty, puffy head guy around my sister.
Zinnia,
No.
team?
I'm gonna watch over the eggs with Penguin in the room.
Okay. Team?
Team's gonna poke his head back in the door after the other two leave and quietly to Zinnia and say, should I go with them? Do you think they will, like, lead them in an alley or something?
Oh yeah, that's a pretty good idea. And you know, they don't know him yet, and he doesn't know them, and he could fall for any of their gullible, their jokes or anything. So I think that might be good.
Oh.
And he has so many pockets, and we know what happens with all
He
the
does have
pockets.
a lot of pockets. I guess
Yeah.
I'll go keep an eye on them, make sure. Are you going to be okay with this one? And he points at Penguin.
More like, am I going to be okay with her? She's like 6 times my size.
I'll
At
be
least she
fine
hasn't
if
run
anything
you
goes.
into a tree yet.
True. That's why I like her.
If anything goes bad, I'll telepathically connect you guys or whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
Just making
my
sure.
brain just like the hamster stopped running in the wheel. It was just like, yep.
As team closes the door behind and rejoins Summer, Gideon, and Salt out in the hallway. As Summer's like, we're going shopping. And she's already started to walk out and down the hallway. Salt slowly kind of looking back and forth at everybody like, come on then, let's go. As Gideon says, okay, I'm so sorry. As he kind of follows them down the stairs. He says, are you sure it's okay that I'm coming?
it's fine. Maybe if you do this whole stammering act, we'll get a discount on the cart.
Haha. Well, then if you need me to, I can do that. As he follows you out, team, you follow him down the stairs. Walking out. Also, it seems that Jakey has paused for a moment, and it's 8:50, so that is a decent time to cause a bit of a break here. So it is currently 8:50. So as we go out and into the world, we will pause for a quick break. Inspo. Who gets inspo?
He brought inspiration with him.
What?
Oh my god.
Show. Oh, he has no earbuds
Wait.
in yet.
Did he bring the cat?
Cat's
he bring
gone.
a Zinnia?
Cat's gone.
Oh, he brought a Zinnia.
No, it's there.
Sorry, she was crying at the door, so I just went to get her. She just needed some TLC.
You know, if you show her, you get a point of inspiration, right? So let me
I
find
will
that.
accept.
Let me find that cat.
Show her.
Oh my gosh.
Look at the kitty. Oh, with the little tiny ears.
Cat buddies.
You get a point of inspiration. You brought a Zinnia. All right. It's 8:51. Let's have a quick break. When we get back, we will do 2 giveaways for one set and then another because we got 4 to go on tonight. So first giveaway and then one that will turn around very immediately quick. So be ready. Let's come back at 9 o'clock. So 9 minutes from now, we'll have a little bit longer of a break this time. So if you need to go to the bathroom, do whatever you got to do, do it. We'll see you all in 9 minutes. Sound good? Beautiful.
That's great.
Yes.
See you soon. Welcome back from the break of the Red Wagon Inn. Hope you all had a good little break and did all the business that you needed to do, because the business we're going to do now is give away some dice. So if you have yet to enter, you got about 30 seconds left before we do the first giveaway. This giveaway is going to have 2 winners. This giveaway set is for the sets with the gold leafing foil inside the Hackstack dice that they sent over. For the blue and the black set, you're going to get a surprise one for the 2 winners that get sent, so you won't know if it's going to be blue or black until it enters into the mail. The surprise is either now or later, so we might as well give you 2 surprises. So if you haven't done it yet, make sure you do your exclamation point LUD to enter the dice giveaway so that you can win yourself some dice and we can give them away. You only have to enter this giveaway. We can pull 2 winners at the same time, so we're going to pull 2 whenever we do that. We think. We shall try that. If not, we will just immediately follow it up with another giveaway. Awesome. So with that, are we good to go, Bree?
Entries are closed.
Boom, boom. No longer enter the raffle. Pull us some winners.
Pool and noodles?
Poulet
Pool
noodles. Congratulations,
You
Poulet
get a
noodles.
context account.
Wait, what was it?
So good.
Aw.
It's what?
Aw, you know what Jakey boy love.
Oh, there we go.
So cute.
Yes.
Pool Noodle nearly killed us all earlier.
Did they?
Why?
Yeah, they said I'm going for a quick break. Hopefully no one dies, and I'm like,
Give me the idea.
Oh,
We reward that kind of behavior with dice,
We
apparently.
do. Please tell me to kill them. I will try.
All right, I think another winner. I think.
Let's
Are
see
we
what
ready
we
to
can
try?
do. Let's try it. Pull another one.
Ew!
Boom. It
Death
works.
Fun.
Bada boom. Datoriox Designs.
Wow.
Very nice.
They've
Double
been in
Congratulations.
a lot of the streams throughout the entire channel.
Boom.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Hey, about time they get rewarded, right?
Yeah.
Thanks for sending love across the whole channel, because there's other good shit on here too.
it
Awesome.
very much
Yeah.
is, including some of us.
some
Yeah.
of us. Also, make sure, because Bree or Streamlabs, one of the two, will send a message. Make sure you send us your addresses sooner rather than later, because then I can get you your stuff. If you don't actually send us the way to send them to you, you can't get them. But we also have 2 more sets of dice to be given away later tonight. So if you didn't win these, you still got 2 more chances at the end of the night tonight. So make sure you stick around for those.
And I love the fact that you're both also here. Yay! I've already got I can see them in the chat, and so they're people that have not just come for the giveaway. They're here and they're watching and they're interacting, and I love that.
That's awesome.
Yay!
Y'all are cool folk. Cool folk. Also,
Cool.
Jackie, you wanted to show off a little something?
Oh yeah, just because I've gotten messages, they wanted to see my D8 necklace up close, so I'm gonna get close to the camera and show you guys. Little
It's
chain
so
right
beautiful.
here.
So beautiful.
Moving, glitter,
It's right
glitter.
there.
Love it.
I'll Vanna White it.
Ta-da. Thanks.
Also, you have the picture up on, what is it, Instagram and Twitter?
Oh yeah, on both of them. Soulbound retweeted me on Twitter, and I freaked out a little bit.
That's awesome.
Look at the photo. It is such a good photo. I was
Yeah.
like, damn, that's a good photo.
That's a good,
Oh.
that's a good ass
Look
photo.
at Jackie's neck.
I mean, since
Look
you
at
guys
that
are here,
neck.
I'm just gonna admit
Jackie.
how I did it. I did it like this: back camera, mirror, and I was like, and I just took a bunch of photos, you guys. So
That
Yeah.
Instagram influencer life.
yeah.
I think Bree would look stunning with one of those necklaces.
You know what?
so-
I was thinking she might go with a green one to match her hair. I don't know.
Can I get a
She likes
purple one?
green. Dude, yes, people have been asking for purple too, so I have to expand the color scheme.
The
love
one I'm wearing matches my hair, actually. But yeah.
Invisible Joker.
GFY. GFY, absolutely.
We hadn't even started back.
You're great. You're great.
Even Bobo was like, Ryan.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Bad. It's bad.
See,
Bobo.
Bobo
By
says
the
I
way,
get
Ryan-
inspiration. I'm just saying.
Your wife did something in chat earlier that was GFY worthy.
I went down and she was like, I got my first GFY. I was like, I didn't give it to you, but okay, what'd you do? She was like, when y'all are looking for a wagon, she was like, what about a station wagon? So yes, Rebel Wife, you officially have a GFY.
Right, bro. You can't let other people give your wife GFYs, man.
It's not right. It's not wholesome.
You gotta be on top of that.
All right. Let's get back into it. Where we last left, Summer, Salt, Team, Gideon were running downstairs, heading towards the main part of the inn to head out and go shopping for a wagon of sorts. So, Summer, being that you rolled quite high on your history roll, you're pretty sure you know exactly where the wagon salesman, or the wagon district, as your mind would recall it, might be. As you immediately head off further down the road, as if you were still continuing on rather than coming from the big great white sacred flame from the center of the area and moving further towards the west. Running down that road, your speed, at which you walk, kind of has Gideon kind of walking at one of those fast walk paces, not quite at a jog, but Summer, you're ready to shop, kind of get in, get out, kind of set up here. Salt and Team, you follow along. Salt, you're used to this kind of quick rat pace. Team, you've learned to go with them at their pace as well. What specific type of thing are you looking for? Are you looking for a horse-drawn wagon, or are you looking for essentially some small thing with wheels, like almost like a dolly, to be able to move things more easily?
These eggs are like the same size as us, aren't they? As
Correct.
the rat folk.
They are quite
So-
large.
I'm assuming we're gonna need like a proper like horse-drawn wagon.
Well, Team
At
could
least
pick
four
at least one of them up.
Yeah. Team looks disappointed in something. I'm guessing it's chat whispering to you. I think we're in the market for a first car,
Okay.
right? First wagon. If we can find a red one, that would be preferable. But
You seem
They
to
go
recall a few stables that were nearby that had various horses, and where there are horses, you can probably imagine they at least know people who might be able to sell a wagon that a horse could pull.
we're gonna need a horse.
If you're looking for a big wagon, yeah. Unless you want Team to pull the whole thing, he might be a little mad. But
He has wings now.
Fluffy head. Stop chewing, fluffy head. Eat on the job.
He spits out
do
the
that.
mint leaves, but does another yawn and just throws them behind himself.
I catch
Fluffy-
the mint leaf.
Fluffy
Salt,
head.
you grab a pile of chewed leaves. Mint has never been anything that rat folk would ever care about, so it literally is a pile of chewed leaves to you. It's got kind of an acrid aroma.
I throw it in the ground, pull my pocket, and pull out a couple of leaves from my pocket, and say, "Here, try this instead."
Gideon, he seems to have some sort of leaves. Roll a nature check.
Oh gosh. It's 10. I don't think my nature's great. 13.
13. Salt, what are you handing him?
The catnip.
Ah, right. Gideon, you saw this earlier. You know it had some sort of effect on Gorf, but you're not sure that it necessarily would have an effect on you. I mean, you were around it quite a lot, but maybe it's, you don't know, maybe it's a delicacy. Maybe you can chew this.
He like looks at them both back and forth, and is just like tries to like slowly do the whole like, am I doing this right? This is, and he's gonna take the tiniest little nibble, like teeth, like
Very Squidward taking a tiny bite of the burger.
yeah, exactly.
As you pull off a tiny little nibble, and as soon as it hits your tongue, you spit it out near immediately. It's not you. Your politeness wants you not to spit it out, but your body cannot prevent it from happening. As you spit it out, your tongue almost starts to feel numb. What is this? It starts to feel numb in your mouth.
Gideon,
It's the same sort of stuff, but this one's worth more.
you word of the future for you, Gideon. Don't eat what he takes out of his pockets.
Thank you for the valuable lesson today.
Don't listen to him.
learning-
He never ate anything.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, he doesn't
he's-
eat.
First lesson, Fluffy Head, is that we learn on the job. Right?
Oh,
So
joy.
you've
Gideon,
learned.
they were
don't
testing
stuff out-
you.
I do the whole like, okay, like workplace. Gideon's like trying to like force a laugh, but he's also like super embarrassed right now.
That's Summer. You're like saying first lesson, learn on the job as you're like walking backwards into a stable before you turn around and slap your hand on the counter. Hello, my good man. Kind of very Summer-esque attitude as you are currently at a stable. However you'd like to greet it, but that's where you're at.
Do you know much? You look smart, right? Fluffy Head. Do you know much about horses and like road vehicles and the such? You have a lot of books.
Well, it depends, I guess, what you want to know. Like, are you looking for something particular, like a particular purpose? Are you looking for heavy maintenance? Would you like something all-terrain, preferably? Do you want two wheels in the front to not fully function? Do you want to be carrying a wheelbarrow? Do you want four-wheel drive? What are you looking for?
What? I just need something to carry the goods,
Yes. Well, I mean, I guess I would just get a basic, like, driving carriage, maybe a horse.
Honestly, all we need is just something to carry it in the horse. Excuse me, sir, ma'am, whoever's behind there. Hello.
Turns around. A guy with probably more missing teeth than teeth that he currently has in his head, and definitely the largest unibrow you've ever seen crossing your face. A big old red unibrow, though you can't see any hair on his face. The whole top of him is very carrot top. So he's like, yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
How are we doing today?
Hey, I'm doing good. You hear about that whole cleanup job? As he like flicks his finger into his.
We sure have not, but we came here looking for horses and wagons.
Oh yeah. We got them. You borrow, rent, buy, what you need.
Buy, preferably.
All right. Well, how much money you got?
How much money do they cost?
Well, it depends on the
We
horse
want
that
a
you
red
want.
one. We want a red
I'm
one.
sorry. We want a red
Oh,
wagon.
so he leans over the counter, seeing you on the top. He kind of like hops up. This is very much like his informal bar. So he leans over. Oh, sorry, I didn't even see you down there. You little folk from up north, not really what we see much around here. You're looking for a red horse, man? We don't have no red horses.
No, a red wagon.
Oh, red wagon. Man, what you're looking for, sorry, this here's a stable. If you're looking for the red wagon, that's back down the road. They have all sorts of drinks, all sorts of things. But horse isn't what you're looking for then if you're looking for a red wagon. It's an inn,
Well, we're
not a
also
horse.
no. I think you misunderstand. Okay, we need a horse and we need a wagon, but we need the wagon to be red.
Got you. Sorry. Takes a minute.
It's okay. This
Just-
is life.
How big the wagon? How big's the horse? What are you looking for? You want to fight on that horse? You want to just ride the horse?
We would prefer the horse to draw the wagon.
Makes sense too. It's all adding up. All right. So come back here with me. You can all come. As he points to all of you, kind of like pulling his fingers back over. As he opens this back door, kind of that's a stable and a barn smell fills your nose as he opens the back. You can see behind his shop, there's kind of a closed barn. You thought this was more of a building, and it may have been at one time, but it has since been gutted to be a stables with kind of a barn-esque door on the back end of it. Inside here, there are probably 6 or 7 different horses, varying color. A few of them smaller, almost like little Sebastian-esque in size. A few of them regular horses, more chestnut. But then there's 2 really large, solid black with gray mane war horses, like stallions with the big furry feet on the bottom of them. He's like, well, if you're looking for some to just kind of pull the carts, any of these chestnut ones will do. They're when you're done with them, you can get the meat, if you know what I'm saying. They're not all that valuable. But if you're looking for like something that, as he kind of smacks you in the chest, team, just like a little puff or like a little, just a friendly little, as he's like, yeah, you're big and you might want to ride one of them big ones if you're wanting to do more than it than just pull the carriage. Or you two, we got these little pony-like fellas down there, he looks over at Gideon with your brightly colored outfit. He's like, sorry, you look like you do a lot of, pointing to team again. You look like you do a lot of fighting, I can tell by the sword and the shield. You needing something like that too, fella?
For Gideon?
Yeah. Just the one horse?
Yes.
Oh, okay,
Let me rephrase on what we need for the 4th time. We need a horse that can pull a wagon, and we need that wagon that it is pulling to be red.
Right. I'm trying to figure out. All these horses can do what you're asking, man. I'm asking what you want with them.
That is it. I just need them to pull a wagon.
Right.
I don't care about anything else.
Can these little fluffy ones pull the wagon, or would it be too heavy for them?
You probably get 2 of them to do it, yeah.
I pull on.
I like that idea, sis.
Team's like clothing and say, "Do we need horses? If the horse wagon is going faster than us, do we need to be on horses to chase the wagon?"
Well, no, we could be in the wagon.
Because I'm a little bit worried that this guy's gonna eat these horses. Should we just? Can we afford
Team
to
looks up at the guy and says, "You will not eat these horses, will you?"
Well, if they die, yeah. It's just wasting meat if you don't.
Causes.
Well, yeah, I mean, it'd break a leg, whatever they happen to do.
Okay, that is good.
I'm not gonna break their legs. Hold on.
No.
Wait.
No offense meant by that.
All right.
We've come across horse traders before. Sorry, I don't know the correct terminology. Look, all we need is one horse. It looks like they might want 2 of the smaller horses to pull. I don't know. What do you guys want?
I want to buy all the horses, and I've been sad.
All the horses. How many do you have?
We got, if you want all of them, we got 7 of them. We got 2 big war horses. We got 3 of the, without saying the meat, 3 of the other horses, then 2 of the small little pony ones.
Just
done. My sister wants 7 horses.
All right. Well, if you're looking
all.
for all those horses, let's see. With the big war horses, I'll get you your wagon too. Don't worry about that. 2 big war horses. Those run about 100 gold each. The other horses, 3 for them. Let's call it an even 350.
Yeah. Lean over to my sister's hat and put my hand in.
We have lots of gold, right?
You got a lot of money. Yeah?
Oh yeah. I've got the count here. Don't worry. It may not all be ours, but I've got the count. And I throw over a sack of about 360, 70 coins.
As you slam it into him, he's like, all right. As he takes a look in, he starts pulling his hand in there. He does a bite on it. You're not even sure how he connects 2 teeth together to do it. But he bites some check that's real. He's like, okay, yeah. Well, shit. Tell you what, you already got the cash here. I'll see what I can do about finding you a wagon. Now, we don't have any wagons on hand, but I got some smaller ones that we move some hay. If you're going to take the whole stock, hell, you can take the wagon.
Excuse me, sir. Which of your horses has the fluffiest head?
he's come here. Let's see. Pulls you over to each of the horse. You see that one there? Does its head look all that fluffy?
It looks mildly fluffy.
Yeah, well, that one's mildly fluffy. Come over here to this one.
I just mean your experience in fluffing their heads. Do you fluff their heads daily?
I have not ever once fluffed their heads, ma'am.
Oh my goodness. Thank chat that we are taking these horses off your hands. That's all
Wait
I
a
can
minute.
say.
I didn't know you rat folk knew about chat. I'm a follower of chat. Ain't that something? Meet new folks every day.
You have a chat discount?
No, sorry about that. Chat got me where it is, but I can't be giving out gold like that. Oh, wagon, yes, sir. You know what? Not a time nor a place. I'll get you your wagon before he walks on over towards the barn doors. Before sliding them
Team
open.
grabs Summer. What the hell are we going
He
to do
walks
with
and
7?
disappears.
What the hell are we going to do with 7 fucking horses?
We're going to, well, I'm going to ride that little one. It's real cute. Salt's going to ride the other one because it's also Salt size.
Where are we going to find the food for these horses?
Fluffy head. You fluff some heads and see which one suits
Fluffy
your
head
fluff.
makes food, right?
Yeah.
I
Yes,
think
I
he has a name.
Ta-da!
Summer, Salt, do you both remember when people just kept calling you Rat? And how that was annoying? Do you remember
When?
that? Okay,
No.
you're doing the same thing with Gideon here.
Okay,
When did
but
anyone call us rat?
team, look, baby steps. I'm not going to murder him, but he has got an adorably fluffy head, and so it's just. Are you okay with this, Gideon? May I call you Fluffy Head?
When
I
she
will
said
give
like
you-
adorable fluffy head, there's just like the smallest mumble of thank you. But then he goes, fluffy head is acceptable, I suppose. It's better than calling me late for dinner. Ha ha ha.
See, he loves it. He loves it. Fluffy Head will find you a fluffy-headed horse. We'll get
I
along.
don't think he loves it.
Then there's a war horse for you. Look, because you're big, and there's one for Zania, and then obviously we need a horse for Robert when he comes home, which will be eventually. And so, like, that's all the horses anyway. One to pull the cart.
Well, how are we going to feed all these horses?
Porridge.
As
Fluffy
she
head.
says,
He
porridge.
can make food.
As she says porridge and salt's like, he can make food. You hear a bell ringing by, very much like a cattle bell. As the man that you saw before comes walking back over, there's another man on top of an oxen who seems to be pulling a cart nearby before he says, oh, hold on. As he undoes a rope, as the cart that's pulling behind it just suddenly just kind of slams into the ground. He's not taking very good care of the cart. However, he's like, yeah, that's good. As he smacks the oxen on the side, as the other one's like, whoa, before the oxen takes off in the distance. He's like, that'll do there. That wagon gets most of our feed. It's I don't even know what you need it for, but it's big enough that one of these or two of the little ones ought to be able to carry that thing, no problem. Which one you want me to hook it up to?
The biggest one.
Hey, as he goes over to one of the reins and pulls it off, he's like, just take any of the old saddles, throw them on top. If you don't know how to do it, I'll do it for you. But as he goes over to one of the large black war horses and starts hooking it up there to the carriage on the side. You haven't even seen, you can only see like the front of the carriage for how necessarily big this thing is. But there are several saddles, bridles, all things off to the side, some smaller ones for the little pony-esque creatures. All of them seeming to have gray leathers on the top of them rather than the traditional like brown horses' saddles and leathers. As you all kind of slowly start putting them on the different horses. As you're doing so, everybody roll me an animal handling and tell me which horse you're putting it on.
14.
14. 3. Which-
And I'm putting it on one of the ponies.
Salt.
The little other pony.
Okay. Gideon, team.
I have nothing to do with this. This is a terrible idea.
Gideon.
That's a 23.
Okay.
And I go to whichever one. I go to the moderately fluffy one.
The first one that he pointed out, the first of the chestnut regular horses, ones that could be workhorses or even just regular steeds, but definitely not war horses. You go over to the one that he first pointed out. You look at him, he kind of looks at you in the eye. You both have that kind of moment where you stare at each other before you kind of hold the saddle up and it kind of leans its head down. You're like, okay, well, it's trained as you throw the saddle up on over. Summer, you grab the small little saddle and just throw it up over the little one, kind of as before. Oh, yeah, I should tie that under its belly there. That's probably a good idea, cinching it up before. Salt, you go over to the first little pony as you're like, hey, buddy, can you lean forward? Here, let me go behind you and throw this up over onto the other side. Before, in doing so, the horse actually gives you a swift kick as you run behind the horse for a small bit of damage.
Guys as crazy as me.
As you go over behind the pony, you're like, it's probably better if I get from behind as you try and throw it over. The small little pony, which is the equivalent of a regular sized horse hitting a normal person, kicks once into your gut, doing 6 points of hoof damage into your gut.
No. Can I?
You can half it if you want.
Uncanny dodgy that? Thank
Look
you.
at you, little rogue. You can half that down to 3. As it does glance, instead of just directly on your gut, a little on the side is almost a kidney shot. Luckily, you weren't too far in the line as you throw it up over before Summer comes over and helps you tie the rest. Gideon, you seem to have a natural pretense to these animals as you help them out. Team, you're just kind of standing here like, we needed the one before the other guy comes back over. He's like, all right, he's all cinched up. Looks like you got what you need over there. He goes over to one of them, pulls up the cinch on the side. Salty goes to your pony. He's like, saw you took a kick there. You all right? You're all right. As he smacks the little horse on the butt real quick, just as like the little pony kind of rears back, but it's still currently tied to the side there. Before he goes, all right, let me show you here some. Team, or you, points to you, team, trying to pull you over
How
to the
did you
cart.
know my name?
Team. I was saying team, all of you. Yeah, it's Cheddar. I just guessed. Heard it on the wind. Come here. As he pulls out to show you the warhorse tied up to the wagon here. This wagon is very much, think the Skyrim wagon that you start off on that can hold like maybe 5 or 6 people. It is not covered. It is not big. But it is far better than what you had originally thought or planned it would be.
I have a proposal for you. How about we trade you 3 horses for coverings for this wagon?
I don't think you understand. I don't want horses. My goal is to get rid of horses for gold. I have your gold. You got my horses. Also, why would I cover up a wagon that's just meant to haul horse shit back outside of the city?
This way it was free.
As you look over to the side, yeah, this definitely was a stable cleaning wagon.
I guess I'll get to work. You 3 figure out what the fuck we're doing. Team's gonna jump in the back of this shit wagon and start using prestidigitation to clean it up.
You hop onto the back and just start literally blowing the shit off of this thing and onto the ground and to the side. As Summer, you go walk up. You're like, team, before like a storm of poop flies off the side of the wagon. You're like, before you climb up the front of it. Team.
Don't forget to make it red.
I can only make it red for an hour. We have to find a more suitable way of doing this. Also, when we get to Mabel's, we're leaving 3 of these horses there. You can take your horses. We're leaving them there. I'm sorry to break your spirits. I do not need a horse. I don't know if Zinnia wants a horse, and there's no point in holding on to a horse for Robert because he's halfway across the world.
Haven't you ever seen real adventurers? We're real adventurers now. They never walk. They've always been horses.
I can ride in the wagon we just bought. There's a reason that we only needed 1 horse for a wagon that can hold 5 people.
Just FYI, something that has yet to happen, which I'm excited to talk about that has happened. Bobo, you got 10 GFYs. Your GFYs reset back to 0. Not that they're lost, but I will tell the party that something will happen as a result of Bobo's massive GFYs.
Oh god.
Why
Carry
would
on.
you do that to us?
Carry on.
Uh-oh.
Long story short,
My
what
horse
I was
dies
saying.
because of these GFYs.
Long story short, what I am saying is we only needed one horse. We now have 7 horses. We can leave at least 3 of them with Mabel. Listen,
That's
before
6
we leave,
better than 1.
before we leave Novigrad, you can pick up your other 3 horses.
But yeah.
But
Look how
for the time
happy.
being,
Look how happy Gideon looks with his fluffy-headed
does
horse.
Gideon look happy?
Matter.
Gideon is like every time no one's looking, he's doing that whole thing where he's like trying to pretend to be a professional horse rider, but the second anyone looks, he just does the whole like, yeah, whatever, I'm fine. My horse is okay, I guess. But he's very pleased.
Tim, look, you've been dead
let's
for a
hurry up
while.
and let's hurry up and go. Let's go get your eggs.
Look, I didn't want to say this, team, but Bony team would be happy with a horse.
Mm.
Actually, Bonnie
Okay.
team would not have given 2 shits about the horse because
He would have
has a
loved the
wagon.
horse because
No,
he loves
no,
his
would
little
not have-
his
he
little
would
pet
not-
atta, and we would have got a horse with no skin, and then you would have had a bony horse, and he would have been a bony horse with a bony atta.
No, Bonnie team would have liked this wagon that was free with the purchase of 7 horses. Why did we just buy 7 fucking horses?
Because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us, and then 1 for the wagon.
I know you're
I'm
all
done
doing
with
math,
this.
and I don't want to interrupt, but I named my horse Chuck. I would like you all to meet Chuck.
That's a great idea.
The team just gives up. He's down in this freshly clean wagon, and he's just giving up on life.
Look, I mean, I don't know what you wanted from me, team. You wanted me to bond with Fluffy Head. We've bonded. We have horses.
You hear from the wagon. Yep, you fucking bonded.
The man with the curly carrot top hair, the big unibrow, and the lack of teeth, as Gideon says, would like you all to meet Chuck. This is my horse, Chuck. The man comes over and he looks under and says, well, Chuck, you're a pretty little lady. Hope you all have fun with your horse. As he looks down under the horse to make sure that Chuck was in fact a pretty little lady. Chuck the lady horse, as he walks back over towards the door that leads back to the front. Y'all have all what you want, as he pulls up the large bag of gold that you've given him, Salt. I think I'm gonna close up shop today and drink myself silly.
Sounds like a great idea.
Can I check the undercarriage of all of the horses now?
Yeah, Summer, you hop off briefly, taking a look at all of them. What are the chances that Gideon named Chuck the only female horse? The rest of them are all male horses. What are the chances? Almost like somebody ordained it that way.
Mine's called Princess Sprinkles, and I get on my horse and I'm like
Your-
try and ride away.
Tiny black and white pony, both of them kind of those checkered black and white horses. I don't know the technical horse term for it, but very little Sebastian. As you're like, mine is Princess Sprinkles, as you start trotting off towards the door. Salt, you are currently standing off of your pony after it kicked you. Are you wanting to ride your pony out?
I will jump on it and go, and I will call mine Ooh.
Ooh, as you hop on the horse. Salt, since you did not necessarily bond with your horse right away, roll me another animal handling.
I will. That's a natural 20.
Nat 20, solid. As you land on it, it kind of
I
rears
bonded.
back before you scratch it right behind the ear, and like a dog, its back leg that hits you actually kind of like shakes a little bit before you have control of this horse as you walk out. Nat 20, no problems at all.
Summer remembers that they have like 4 more horses, and
Yep.
so she like very casually rides back in and tries to lead one of them and palms another rein off to either of the 2 other boys on the
Summer,
horses.
on your tiny little pony, your hands are hold up on the reins of the other tall horse there before you try and hand the reins off to other people. Gideon, you're currently riding on Chuck.
Never gonna admit this was a bad idea ever.
Okay. Do you also grab one of the horse's reins, Gideon?
Yeah. I think Gideon's gonna help as much as they can.
Okay.
I'm gonna lean over to the cart though while riding my horse, like to Tiem, and say, "Thank you for inviting me to your group of friends. This is very fun. I'm glad we can bond with horses too."
Yes, this is wonderful. Team gets up on the wagon, realizing he's going to have to guide this horse now with a wagon.
You hop onto the back of it, grabbing the reins. Salt, as Summer passes off the other reins to you. The three of you currently all are holding horses. Chuck and... Or, sorry, Gideon, not Chuck. Gideon and Salt. Which one of you is pulling the war horse?
I'll pull the warhorse.
Okay. Salt, you pull the other chestnut horse as Chuck and Gideon lead on the other solidly black war horse with its grayish fur underneath. Team, you finish cleaning off the rest of the wagon and sit up at the front of it before you're like, oh, God, I normally used to do this with camels now that you have your memory back on you. What word do you use to move the horse forward?
Dada Habib!
You Hadid. It sits there kind of quietly. You kind of try and hit it to make it move and go forward before Atta comes over and goes, hey, what, are you trying to get it to go? But it sounds like before the horse runs off, afraid of the sound of
Thank you,
Atta behind. Just kind of at a trot. It's still got a lot of weight to carry. It cannot like really run very fast, so you're just going to direct it from there. But hey, it got it going. As you start riding back through the streets, heading back towards the Red Wagon Inn, all others in tow with the other horses behind you, heading back to the east towards the inn. Zinnia, you have your window open, sitting up with the eggs, talking to Penguin McCool as he's like, so, the Bone Boy, he's really back, huh? Not, like, for goods?
Yeah, and I mean, he's no longer Bone Boy anymore.
He's always going to be a bonehead, but I don't know if he's a bone boy. I'll at least call him a bonehead. But so tell me about your homeland. I'd like to get to know you. As he's like, I'd like to get to know you. You suddenly see team with a wagon and a horse, reassured that they got what they needed, followed by your new friend Gideon on a horse, pulling another quite large war horse, and Summer and Salt on two little ponies, pulling other chestnut horses further towards the end. As that kind of takes your attention, as Penguin's like, it's okay if you don't want to talk about it. I don't got to talk about it. It's just I was making conversation.
No. It's fine. I mean, he's always going to be oh man, I don't know what the crew's gotten themselves into this time.
He waddles up to the windowsill to take a look out. He's like, "Oi!" He yells out the window to all of you. Team, you look up and see the penguin outside the window there. He says, what the hell were you thinking?
We bought horses, penguins, so that we don't have to walk anymore.
Very cartoony. Zinnia and Penguin McCool kind of both look at each other at the same time and then back down out at the horses. Before a bit of a sigh comes down, close the windows onto the side.
Oh,
Team.
Penguin looks like you're not going to be the only animal on the team again.
Hey, whoa. I resent that. I'm a civilized person. I don't know if you know, I don't know any horses with the long faces and whatnot that can talk like I can.
You haven't met them yet. You don't know.
He kind of pauses at that, like, wait, you think they could talk?
It's Summer and Salt. We don't. Would you be
God,
surprised?
oh, they're gonna talk. The horses are gonna
horses?
freaking talk. As he like palms his little fin there, as you try and like, you mostly mess with him, knowing that probably not gonna talk, but he could always use a knocking down a peg. As team, Summer, Gideon, Salt, this area not super huge. There's a few tables that are outside, but not terribly many areas to park these. Before team, you stop the wagon there. There are some fence posts enough to where people could tie the leads off to these horses out in front of the Red Wagon Inn if you'd like. Where are y'all parking the horses?
Is there like a back entrance to this place?
There is, or there might have been at one point, but definitely not big enough to pull the wagon through.
Okay. And I'll stay out front with the horses and the wagons, and totally won't release a few of them.
You
Should
all
we-
stop there at front. Oh, sorry, Summer, continue.
I was just gonna say, team, do you want to you be strong boy and load the gonna load the car? up?
Actually,
We'll get going?
yes, you are so right. Let me go ahead and go up there. I'll be right back. You lot stay here and make sure no one steals the brand new horses.
Yeah, it's good investment, isn't it? I know a lot of people.
The simply the best.
Tim.
Yeah.
Oh, after you.
I was just gonna say, can you make sure that you kind of wrap up the merchandise so that
Sure. Can do.
Tim,
Yes, Gideon.
just so it's a little easier. Gideon's gonna hop down, and he's gonna make another cat's cradle, and a clock appears in that green light, and it turns blue. And as it does, different animals start shifting across it. And I'm gonna cast Enhance Ability, and I'm gonna use Bull's Strength. The target has advantage on strength checks, and their carrying capacity doubles. Tiem's horns gets another set of bull horns, almost as if evolution timeline, as if there was Minotaur lineage. And then that's gonna last for an hour. Let's go, just to help lighten the load.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Team, your horns always curve to the back, almost like a slicked back piece of hair. Now having some in front of you, seeing something in your vision, you kind of swat at it for a second.
Robert?
Yeah, almost like Robert. Who knew? Robert's horn suddenly, you're like, oh, my boy. But you feel stronger. You can almost feel, especially now that you have your muscles back, you feel ready to stretch them.
I'm gonna go punch a hole in a wall. No, you lot
Do it.
You lot stay here. I will be back with Zinnia and the penguin and the stuff. Okay. Solo. Team's gonna go.
I
inside.
walk over to Gideon. Hey, hi. So, yeah, we haven't really even talked very much. You've got a lot of pouches and everything else, haven't you? Have you done a lot of research? What do you know about ratlings? What do you know about dragons as well? Do you know that we ran a dragon and it's like a giant spear and everything else? Oh, and while I'm talking, I'm just testing to see how well he's paying attention to my tail getting closer to his pouches.
Roll a perception. For salt.
Is that...
For salt.
Oh, okay.
As he's trying to follow your
Oh my god, that's another natural 20.
You see Gideon being kind of the jumpy lad that he is. His eyes are following you, but just kind of naturally. He's you can kind of see twitches on his ears as he's just kind of always looking around. As people walk by on the street, he does a quick little, almost like a twitch at him just to see him. He seems to notice quite a lot.
All right, I'm going to push him further and go, oh, so you're really good at noticing things. I can see you're really switched on. And I start juggling and trying to get his attention moving to see how well I can manipulate his ability to have an eye on me.
In order, Gideon goes, well, the thing I know about ratlings is you and your sister seem to be ratlings. They seem to be more than friendly folk. I'm not sure at a position where they come from genetically, but it seems like you are very friendly and kind, and so far, I like them. As for dragons, the dragon story you briefly mentioned in the tavern last night, and Gideon rattles the exact time it was mentioned, and when you brought it up, it seemed like to be just a quick glance over, as you had mentioned it specifically, I believe, when you were doing your very quick ranting, and you're very good at fast talking. Can I roll an insight check to see if I can catch on to what's going on? Because now that I'm getting a lot at me, I think Gideon would, because my passive insights.
Roll your insight versus salt your performance.
Okay.
I'm going for Breeze dice again. Don't let me down.
I like how he blames it on you if it does let you down, Bree.
I never blame it on Bree.
Doesn't it hurt?
15 plus 7, so
22.
14 plus 5.
Ooh.
So 19.
You can tell that he's juggling, but he seems to be able to do this without really even looking at the juggling. That's not Salt's focus, if that makes sense.
Okay. Gideon will take note of that.
All right, so I will then continue doing what I'm doing and then look over to my sister, see if she's paying any attention, because I know we've done this thing before, and sort of give her a bit of a, do you want to come and try to distract them as well?
Summer's going to look busy tending to the horses.
Oh my! Are you good at catching as well? And yes. I know you know it's time, but did you know that we have down under time as well? And we have it's amazing. Have you ever been down under? I mean, down under is amazing. It's really really cool because like everything's upside down, but it's not because it's actually the right way up. So this is kind of upside down, but it's actually not as well because you're standing the right way up as well. It can be really confusing, but only if you start climbing upwards as well. But and I let one of the balls I'm juggling sort of go out of the path, so it has to go towards him to see if he reacts to it as well.
He seems to whoa accidentally again you kind of get that his attention is not directly on the juggling itself as a ball goes flying towards you.
Man, how's Gideon feeling right now? Nah, okay, I'll just try and catch the ball for now.
So you catch a small little rubber ball in your hand. Salt, are you trying to steal from him?
At that moment, I will.
Oh man!
Just try to take a pouch.
Go ahead and roll a stealth roll. Gideon, you are actively watching this. Go ahead and roll your perception.
Oh God. I'm gonna say right now 19 flat plus 7. That's a 26.
We have a perceptive boy whose main thing is being a perceptive boy.
18 plus 9. That's 27.
Oh shit.
26 versus 27. Right.
Can I have been keeping an eye on this too? I don't think that I'm going to catch that, but can I
roll a perception? Yeah, I mean you know what your brother's doing.
Yeah, even ask for help. What are you doing?
Only 18. It's only an 8.
Got ya. Gideon, you grab the ball before Salt. You're like, oh, sorry about that. As Gideon, you hand him back the ball, and so you're like, oh, careful, buddy.
Would I know even without being able to see it that he would be trying to rob him right now?
You know he's trying, and you're waiting to watch it happen, but you haven't caught the moment.
Mm-hmm. I want to gauge my brother's reaction to see.
This is with your perception. That's you haven't caught the moment. You're waiting, trying to.
So I stop juggling and I go to reach out to get the ball back from Gideon, and extend my hand out. And hopefully, if Gideon reacts and goes to extend the ball back there, I'll have the pouch in the hand. So I'll sort of flip it up as a swap. So we'll see if he does that swap, and then I'll continue talking.
You hand him the ball back, Gideon.
Yeah, I do.
As far as you know, you just start holding the ball. As you hand it back to him, he has something else that he swaps in your hand very quickly. He stole your nightlight. How did he find that?
Gideon just pauses and holds it, and slides it very slowly into his bag. And
I'll be like, you're very, very, very astute. I really like how well you pay attention, and I think you'll be a very, very valuable team member. And so, thank you so much for conversing with me. And then I sort of scurry away.
Hey, Fluffy Head. Lesson number 2 is always watch the tail.
Noted.
Gideon's demeanor changes just a little bit. A little uncomfortable. As we go to team, you run up to the room where Zinnia is, open the door. Zinnia, now that they're back, you're kind of getting your stuff ready to go.
Zinnia, they bought 7 fucking horses.
I saw you guys through the window.
I couldn't stop them. They bought 7 fucking horses.
Do you think you're less intimidating now that you have skin? Do you think they listen to you less because you're not all bone anymore?
I don't know. The Salt says that I'm more intimidating now that I'm not Bones because he knew me as Bones. But, if you were in a fucking dungeon and there were bones, I would be more afraid of the bones than the random guy with skin. I don't know.
Hey, well, important question, though. What did those horses say to you?
They said that they don't like penguins.
They did. God, sure. Oh my. They did it. They really did it.
Talk to Summer and tell her how bad of an idea it was to get horses that don't like penguins. Go ahead. Go ahead down.
Wait. Hold on. they said they don't like penguins, and someone still bought the horses?
It's really fucked up.
All right. Okay. All right. I'm going down as Penguin McCool begins walking out and waddling down the stairs.
Penguin, go easy on her.
Team, what's up with your the thing in your?
Gideon was very kind and he made me stronger, and Team's gonna go lift up one of the eggs.
Oh.
Roll a strength check at advantage.
Dice, come to me. That's a non-natural 20.
Solid. Before, where you had to struggle to get one of them up, Zania, you saw it. This time, team, you reach down and pick it up with one arm. It's still very heavy. However, you're able to hold it under one arm as you reach down and grab the other one, carrying both of them like two large weights. Being that they're so large, they're kind of laying on you, like carrying two large suitcases under your arms as you hold them. Again, you hope they don't wobble and fall off, but you're able to hold them pretty steady.
With that being said, they did ask, by the way, the horses don't talk.
It's like you're connected or something, because I told Penguin that they do talk, so it's like you knew already. I think we are best friends.
Great minds think alike.
Yeah.
With that being said, we should probably wrap these up in something so it doesn't look as, like we're holding eggs.
I mean, we're adventurers. We can just take the sheets, right? I mean, we'll return them.
Yeah, we'll bring them back. Maybe at some point in time. Oh, and Team remembers back to the time where he took the bucket of porridge from the Black Birch Inn and told her he would bring it back, and he never did.
Totally will return this.
Team, are you okay? You look like you got lost in thought for a second.
Hey, sorry. Yes, we'll borrow this.
Oh,
We are adventurers.
Team, you throw one of the eggs down on the bed in order to wrap its sheet up, and as you do so, as the egg lands on it, some of the hay from inside the mattress flies out onto the other side. The heaviness of these eggs evident as you throw it down, and the cheapness of these mattresses for you.
And as we're wrapping, I'm just like, wait, so you said Gideon's the one that made you really strong right now?
Yeah, and it's actually pretty cool. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. He
I mean,
waved his hands, and there was like clocks and things. It was cool. I like this Gideon person. I think he will go well with this group, as long as Summer and Salt don't scare him off first.
I mean, for someone who doesn't have any friends, though, he's like a really, I don't know, thoughtful team player.
Yes, this is true.
It's like, I don't know. It's like he he just prepped himself to help out any friends he could make, you know? It's, I don't know. It's kind of sweet.
I think I've been in
Also
a
kind of
situation
sad.
where he was before, not really having anyone, and you kind of, I don't want to say latch on to people when you don't have anyone else. There's two sides of it. You'll either latch on to people, or you'll just completely push people away. So it's nice to see that he is at least on one of those sides.
Yeah, and that he's on our side too. I mean, I think even I could learn a few things from him.
It'd be great.
Yeah. So okay, done wrapping up the eggs.
As you wrap two of the eggs up in the bed sheets, and you take one and just put both pillowcases over the top and the bottom of it. Team, you pick up two of them. Zania, you might be able to carry one. Other than that, team, you'll have to go down and come back for another.
I will try.
Okay. Zania, roll me a strength check.
Oops.
Oh no. The egg
Natural 20.
breaks.
Natural 20 would be roar animal dices.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Zania, or
Wrong
team,
kind of oops.
you're holding two of them. Zania, you look at him and he's kind of feels like he's showing off, but you remember how much he struggled the first time before you take the one with the bed sheet and almost like a sack, you pull up the other end and you just throw it up and over your shoulders. It lands, you catch it on your back as you're like, let's go, team, as you walk off, team.
You know what the sad part is? I'm not even impressed because I already know she's super strong. Like, I've traveled with her long enough to know, like, I knew she could do that.
Before Zinnia, you walk
I am
down the
the weak
stairs. Summer, Penguin McCool walks out of the inn. Luckily, again, these are push and pull doors, else he might not have been able to reach the handle. Before you see Penguin McCool waddling on out as he comes over to you. He looks kind of blank in his expression before he stops.
Oh,
Can I see the hat?
yeah, sure. Here you go, bud.
As you hand him the hat, he sets it down. He stands on the rim of the hat and takes a look at the little pony. He says, I'm watching you, Horseface, as he smacks the pony and jumps down into the hat.
How he is being.
Roll an
very
animal
nice.
handling as your pony rears back.
Oh my gosh, 11.
11. Your pony runs and hits the other horse that's currently carrying the wagon, causing it to start trying to move on its own and pulling against the fence. As it does so, you're lucky that Team, as he gets off the wagon, is a good tire and a strong tire. As it pulls against the fence, unable to pull it out of the ground, but it does try. That's a lucky roll on the fact that it did not get out of there. But it tries before you're able to calm your horse and then calm the big horse.
What's gotten into that penguin?
For Team and Zinnia
I don't
come
know,
out
Chris.
with their 3 eggs, looking like just holding giant marshmallows.
Oh, good. Shh. It's okay, little ones. It's okay.
Perhaps you shouldn't talk to them at the moment. Just not yeah, merchandise you don't generally talk to.
What lovely marshmallows you have there, team.
Thank you. Okay.
What beautiful, lovely, well-natured, loved marshmallows.
Okay, yes, he's gonna start putting them into the thing.
Team,
And then,
you
as
hop
he's
onto the
done with that,
back.
he's gonna walk over. Oh, go ahead.
You hop onto the back of the wagon, and as you do so, the weight of these things begins to tip the wagon down. It kind of pulls itself down onto each side as you do. You try and lay them out. Before Zinnia, you reach down to grab the egg from Zinnia. She's like, I got this. As she climbs up on and sets it down into the top. You're like, okay, everybody's just doing their own thing today. Before you hop off the wagon. The 3 eggs being in there leave this thing kind of lopsided onto the right side. Not anything that would be terribly damaging, but they're quite heavy, and going a terribly long distance with these would probably not be ideal without some sort of balancing weight on the other side. But you don't have to go that far.
I hop off of the thing, look over to the rest of them, and I look back to Gideon. Are you good?
Yes. Ready when you are.
He looks back over to Summer and Salt.
Okay.
Are we going now?
Mm-hmm.
That way.
Team, you hop onto the warhorse. Zinnia, there are 3 horses being carried by the other members. 2 chestnut regular horses and 1 big black warhorse.
Oh, I mean, Zinnia's a tall lady, so she might want to go for the big black warhorse.
I figured. Go ahead and roll me an animal handling as you go to get on this thing.
Okay.
While she walks by, I'm gonna cast guidance because I can tell she's going for the horse.
Okay, a little bit of needed that. That's a 4 plus 2. Not 4, sorry. 11? What did I say 4?
I don't
11
know.
plus 2 plus 3. 6.
16. You go to hop up on it, and Gideon, briefly before your eyes, you see her miss the stirrup and fall under the horse, causing a panic. Before you kind of, as you say, like, whoops, as you pull the stirrup over towards Zinnia's foot, you're like, oh, thank you, Zinnia, in your form of guidance as you, thank you, Gideon, as you step onto the stirrup and pull yourself up onto the horse. You're all currently on your horses, ready to go. Summer and Salt, you're carrying the other 2 chestnut horses on their leads. Where are you headed? Heading to Mabel's, I would assume?
Yes.
Fantastic.
I
Team,
wanna
you're ready to get them there. Sorry, Summer?
I just want to keep a real close eye on the cart and kind of make sure that they're safe and sound and not bouncing around too much.
Sounds
as we
good.
travel.
Summer, you choose to follow behind the cart. As team, you turn the thing around and head it on up northward towards Mabel's shop there. It doesn't take you very long on horseback, maybe about 2-3 minutes trotting through the parts of town. As y'all have been talking and doing a lot throughout the day, it's been several hours. It's about lunchtime at this point. You spent most of the morning deliberating on what you're going to send and then getting multiple horses and coming on back and planning things. As you head on over, you stop in front of Mabel's. However, many people are out and about doing their business for the day. You see several of those people before in Crusader-esque helmets with the eye slits that go here and the similar kind of red cross-like thing that goes between where right under their eyes were and down on the front, wearing similar attire. It very much looks like, if you were to picture it, out of the medieval crusades as far as their armor and attire. You don't see many of them, but they do walk every now and again through the streets here. Before you stop in front of Mabel's place, there's that man that you saw before. Everyone roll me a history check besides Gideon.
Steve! Rolled an
4.
8.
4. 8 from teams. 21. Is that another
Oh, wait,
nat 20?
that's a 12.
It's another nat 20.
Another
I'm a
nat
druid
20.
today. I get multiple nat 20s today.
Zania, you, as you see him, you immediately recognize Dallas, the man that you saw before, sitting out in front on the porch with his little rocking chair that he's got there that Mabel had up front. However, this time in his lap, he has a small creature kind of laying up, purring on his lap, a solid midnight black cat that lays on his lap. That you can see from the front. He just kind of gives y'all a nod as you see him before you all tie your horses up to the posts there and hop off of your horses to head on into the shop as Dallas kind of gives you a nod as you walk up the stairs and see him. As you look further at this specific cat, roll me a perception, everyone.
Emma! Oh! That's 19.
Is that a 1 from the perception man?
Oh no!
Distracted by the
Sad.
cuteness of this thing.
Oh.
What were the numbers? 19 from
6.
Me.
Zania?
16.
16. Team and Zania, as you walk up, you see the guy from before. He kind of gives you a nod. You're like, oh, well, that's cute. As you take a look down at it, its head turns up and looks at you. You are not greeted with any facial features at all on this cat. It is all fur on the front. There are no ears. It is completely stripped of features on the front. And as this cat stands up and looks and kind of stretches out from his lap, the cat kind of does one of those cat stretches out the front. And as it does so, 3 tails come out the back of it as Dallas pets this thing. He's a cute fella, I would say.
Oh, yeah. Do I smell anything different about this cat?
You can roll a nature at advantage.
Okay. Oh, well, that's a 3 and a 9 with a -1, so that's an 8.
You have not ever seen a cat like this before, and its smell is foreign to you.
Oh, that's a very interesting kitty you got there. I don't know how to pet.
Oh,
Very awkward to just.
he kind of turns it around. He's like, you all right with him petting you, buddy? It just kind of hangs there like a cat does, not really replying. As he turns it back, he's like, go ahead. This faceless mask and void of fur looks, quote unquote, at you as he holds it forward as its arms dangle there. Its 3 tails kind of twirling back and forth between each other like it's braided. Do you go to pet it?
Yeah.
You move your hand towards it before it suddenly blinks out of the air. As he's like, God. He stands up and heads to the door. Mabel, it did it again! Before going inside as he walks over to the cage onto the side. You all walk in and you see that cat that was there before is certainly in the cage. As Mabel's like, oh, I told you he's probably going to do that for a while. If he gets skittish, you're going to... I know you don't want to collar him, but I highly recommend. As she walks over, she's like, fine. She takes it off the side and puts the collar around the little cat. She's like, this is temporary, buddy. I'm not going to do this for long. Before he slides it up over his shoulder. Before he kind of gives you a nod, he's like, let's go home. He starts
Take it
walking.
easy, Steve.
It's Dallas, but okay.
To be fair, this guy's never seen me before, so that's fine.
True. He would not recognize you as the bony fella as he walks down and out, leaving all of you here. You close the door behind you in Mabel's shop. Mabel says, "Good to see you all again." And Gideon, nice to see you as well. I'm glad you still have your shoe.
Yes, of course. Always got to keep it on, and he shakes his foot.
Have you already gone and got the roc's eggs?
No, we have 3 different eggs for you.
Wait, I
we-
thought you were heading to get to the rock eggs.
Well, I mean, we are doing that too, but we also had to bring you this so we could fit.
We had to get a
rock
wagon to
eggs.
get the rock eggs.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I probably should have stressed the urgency of finding the rock eggs. If they're left up there too long, there's any manner of predator could find. Let me see your eggs, and then if you are going to go, I appreciate it. If not, I would definitely need to get somebody else to do this quest sooner rather than later.
We're gonna go today. That's all right. We need to give you these eggs so that we can carry the other eggs.
Fine. Do you have your eggs? As she holds her hand out.
They're in the cart.
Team goes
Oh.
to the cart and starts lugging them in.
I'll help.
Zinnia, you head back over with team as you team come on with both in your hand, but Zinnia, you holding one hand over like it's no big deal. As you walk up through the steps, you hear them creak under the weight of you carrying these things on the stairs as you go up. As she says, "Oh my lord! Those are quite large. What? Oh, okay, please set them down." As you,
Someone's gonna like pedantically like somebody moving. You know, when you have movers moving your furniture and stuff, you're like, oh.
watch the door. Watch the door. Watch the door. Yeah. Alex, you know very much about that.
Way too much.
Green dragon eggs.
Green?
This is what these are.
And they're this. Oh my! She immediately like rushes to the sheets to wrap them off. As she goes, "Oh my gosh! You have quite a rare specimen here.
They're plague bringer eggs. Yeah, they're very cool.
Plague,
That's just a nickname that
That's-
he
yeah,
gave along
it's-
the way
it's-
because they're green. He,
No,
you know,
not important.
very creative mind.
Be careful. Many people would think that you stole Ithka's eggs. These are verdant immaculi. These are amazing.
I'm
Sorry, what was the name you happened to say?
rewind.
It's a type of green dragon, verdant immaculi, the largest of the breeds.
No. Like before that, about Ithka.
Why? A bit of recognition kind of hits her eyes there. You didn't take the nasty beast eggs, did you?
So, to be fair,
Them.
she abandoned them.
Whoa! You the Emerald Plague. You took it.
That's the one. Yes.
Why would she abandon them?
Well, that's a long story that we really don't need to go into. But
Oh, we
are
need to go into
absolutely-
that story right now. She
100%
takes the other
positive
sheets
she's
off the other one.
never-
You
Never coming back.
you
Yeah. Is this more urgent than the rock eggs? Like, should we do this first or
I won't abandon the rock eggs. We definitely need to get them, but
just in terms of like hierarchy of things? that we
you.
need to-
She points to Gideon, and you. I asked that you not do anything reckless with them. Did you know about these? Do you know who the Emerald Plague is? Do you know who Ithka is?
Does any of this ring a bell based on my study?
Roll a history check.
Okay. Any chance I can use guidance on myself while the question's coming, or is this
Totally.
history?
No, that's fine.
Okay. Cool.
You ponder the memory as a cleric.
That's a +4 from guidance. My history is. Where are you, history? D&D Beyond. Oh,
In
it's
the past.
alphabetical. So that's 7, 17. So that's 24.
24, solid. Matter of fact, you do know who Ithka is. Those who study the great beings of the world obviously know who Ithka, the Emerald Plague, is. The greatest of the green dragons. a member of the Dragon Council. A member of a group that survived the Dragonborn uprising as the Dragonborns and dragons teamed up to fight nearly 125 years ago. Many of the dragons on the Black Mountain were slain. There are a few, however, that were too powerful to slay as the dwarven army marched on the mountain. Those dragons fled and made their homes across the land. Very hard to find dragons when they don't want you to be found. Ithka
Gideon's nose trickles a
earned her
little bit of
name.
blood, and he goes, "Yes, I've heard of that, Ithka." No, I wasn't necessarily part of this escapade, and this does sound very scary, but from how I've met them, they seem to be mostly genuine and honest in intentions. If the eggs were abandoned, maybe this was a willful saving. I did see Summer speaking to the eggs very gently. I couldn't imagine this was out of malice.
I don't see that malice would be, where this was, but if the even best intentions go awry, you understand. So, now, when you
I
say
can
abandoned,
guarantee you,
did you see Ithka there? Was she just gone when you arrived?
Oh, so we gave her the sun spear, and then she flew away.
Gideon, roll another
She
history
left me a
check at
big
advantage.
mark right here, and I show my huge scar.
As you
Is this
pull
another
open your
guidance
vest.
boy, or is this just...
This is at
it's a-
advantage. You can guidance if you'd like.
Okay. It's a natural 20.
Okay, no worries.
plus 1 from that. So it's a 25 for this one. Or no,
You-
24.
Zinnia,
Sorry.
don't celebrate Zinnia. We don't want him to know about this.
I just probably
Yeah,
all got
no.
natural 20s tonight, okay? Sorry.
Gideon, as a time cleric, you've made it a point to study artifacts of the past, powerful ones that still persist to these day. You've absolutely heard of the Sun Spear. With a nat 20, you've heard of the Sun Spear. You've heard of its capabilities. You've heard of what it's done, what it's been used to do in the past, and what you hoped that... Whatever, it's in the hand of the gladiator. A gladiator's going to do gladiator things. He probably doesn't even know the full potential of the Sun Spear. Hearing that it is not in the hands of just a gladiator who could defend it and keep it, and possibly in the hands of a greater ancient dragon, might be worth mentioning to your order.
I would like but 10 minutes. Zinnia, could I borrow you for a moment? We are going to sit over there. I need 10 minutes undisturbed. Please.
I can
Gideon?
tell you in 2.
Gideon, as you rolled a nat 20, roll me another history check at advantage to see what you know that the Sun Spear does.
Thank God for the advantage, because that was a nat 1 and a 14, but the 14 is a 17.
17. You've only heard rumor. Obviously, Keenak would never let other people see this spear. He would never let anybody have it to examine it. So you only know what the text said that the Sun Spear was capable of. The Sun Spear used to call out to the heavens. The ancient rhyme, you don't know exactly how it went, but something about the great Lord of the Sunlands, the King of Kings, an empire so vast, almost led to the heavens itself. Heavens, heavens, heavens. That keeps repeating in your head. You're not sure what it does, but this has some sort of connection outside of just this plane.
After Gideon's request of space, Gideon's going to walk around. He's going to take out a notebook of whatever notes he has on Ithka, the Sun Spear, and he's going to look at the eggs and give them like a feel. He's going to get scent, and he's going to get everything, and then he's going to sit down, and Gideon's going to start preparing clairvoyance.
Beautiful. Zania, he asked you over. Do you go over?
Yes.
Okay. Zania, you head over to see what you can do to help Gideon, what he needs from you. As Gideon, you begin casting clairvoyance. Mabel is talking to the rest of the group. Okay, so you gave her the Sun Spear. I'm not entirely sure what that is or what that means. Most dragons have weapons. Fine. But was it a trade for her eggs? Did she? What happened?
No, she just kind of started talking about world domination and just left.
Up and left
Gideon, with your
after
perception,
killing me.
you absolutely hear about the world domination. You may want to add that into your thoughts and possible message. World, have you? Who have you told world domination? And she just left the eggs. Left them.
She did. She just flew off and she left the eggs, and the poor babies, look at them. They can't do anything. They're in a shell.
Look, dragons are
Oh,
notoriously selfish creatures, save for their kin. However, they can have other children. If she may have left thinking she had not. Is this sun spear important at all?
oh yeah, it's really important.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We took it from a gladiator who's chasing us across the world.
A lot of people seem angry about it.
Does Ithaca
You
particularly
guys-
know you have these eggs?
Team's gonna stop for a moment. He's gonna look at the two of them and be like, huh.
I don't think so. Do you think so,
lot.
sis? I don't think she knows. But I mean, it makes sense because, she left it for us.
Okay. So,
We also had a star, too. We got a star. That was pretty cool.
So, what were you gonna say, team?
I'm just impressed at how much you are willing to tell a somewhat stranger.
I did die with
We
you.
brought her back to life.
That-
What stranger?
Yeah,
She's got wings like you. You're more of a stranger now, then.
I'm just saying.
Whoa.
I'm just saying. Hold on. That you lied to an entire guild that we are a part of. But right now you are
Never
spilling
lied.
everything. So I'm
You
just.
never lied.
I'm just.
And you told me to tell more truth.
I'm just seeing the irony in things, and that is all.
There's no ironing here.
Well, Robert told me that I needed to tell the truth now.
This is fine. This is good.
We're growing up.
I
We're being
absolutely
big
appreciate it.
rats.
Had you lied to me about this, that would have been very hard to explain. Should Ithaca ever come knocking on my door asking for her children?
Yeah, and well, because we need to make sure the babies are safe. So you need to know this, right?
Absolutely, I do. I very much appreciate the information. And I will never turn down helping out a defenseless child.
Oh,
I will
but
still
what about
help, but I need-
horses?
What do you mean? What is there a baby horse somewhere?
Would you be willing to take in some horses as well?
If need.
Did you find some extra horses, team?
Where did you
I
find
did.
horses?
At the stable.
Well, they're probably fine in a stable. That's what I would put them.
Ah. But
Well,
now
then
they are
more.
in our possession, but we can worry about that later.
Okay, yes. Definitely second tier information compared to what she points at the eggs down in front of her. Hold a moment, please. She walks back and upwards towards the spear. Gideon, as Zania comes over towards you, you begin casting clairvoyance. Zania, roll me a Arcana check.
This is something I misread. My original plan for clairvoyance is a little different, but I misread something, so I have a different idea initially.
Okay.
My initial plan was to go see if I could use the items and things and scry on a person, but that's a different spell. But Gideon is still going to use clairvoyance for another reason.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, if you want to do clairvoyance first and then possibly scry afterwards. Still, Zinnia,
I don't
Arcana
know
roll.
scry.
Oh, no scrying, okay.
We too weak for scry. 16.
16. As Gideon begins prepping the clairvoyance spell, you recognize this. You haven't performed it yourself, but you've heard kin of yours that have been able to do a spell similar to this, though the runes are different, the lines are wrong. You're tempted to correct him, however, as he puts the last line of chalk on the ground, it begins to light up. As he sits down, you're like, oh, okay, maybe he just does it differently. As Gideon, you sit preparing the rest of the clairvoyant spells. It will take you 10 minutes to finish out the rest of it.
Okay. So Gideon, after the chalk circle's done, he opens a small glasses case, and there's a shattered pair of glasses. And over the time, he places that in the middle, and those start to slowly rebuild as if reversing. Because with clairvoyance, you need like a gold piece or a eyepiece or something worth 100 gold. So it's like very ornate crystal glasses that are fixing themselves. While it's preparing, he's sitting and he looks at Zinnia away from everybody and says, "This is all information I would need to turn into my order of time. I can tell you are a fellow person of faith. I trust all of you, and you have been very kind to me. Why shouldn't I turn this in? I need you to convince me now."
Truth be told, I think the order of time knowing this is the best thing for society. There's nothing me, Somersault, or team can do to prevent it, where it's totally out of our hands. And you seem super capable, so I'm sure your teachers are amazing. And if I'm talking truthfully, if anyone can seem like they can fix this, it would be your domain and your people. Do you think you could reverse time?
Gideon, you get the sense that Zinnia is unfamiliar with time domain clerics and what the time scar is capable of. You know that that is not impossible, but the capability of what she's thinking, possibly bringing items back, reversing time far enough to prevent something like this, definitely not in your capabilities.
I have had things where I wish they could be reversed. The time scar. My domain is strong, and there is very smart elders. But as I describe, the time scar, it is an anomaly. It is a puzzle that just keeps throwing questions in people's faces. And as much as I would love to say we could fix it with a snap, if I had the capabilities, or anyone I knew had the capabilities, I would offer that very generously. But I don't know if time works like that. It's possible. Everything is possible. There's so many different realities of things that are possible. But I don't know. And I
mean,
answer.
That's fine. I mean, we're all learning along the way, but do you think if your people had enough time to research and to prep, they can fix it before the world ends?
I will send a message today and to one of my teachers and see. I don't know.
It would be completely selfish of us to keep this from the one domain that seems like they have a chance of reversing our mistake.
I have seen people have made mistakes. Encountering an ancient green dragon, giving them a sun spear. That doesn't seem like a mistake. That seems like being backed into a very scary corner.
Thank you. That
Gideon's going to take the glasses and offer his hand.
that means a lot. We've only been told this is a mistake so far, so hearing that from you really, you don't know how much it means.
People say the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I'd like to think that road would be very lonely if there wasn't good people on it. And Gideon's going to put on the glasses, and while holding Zinnia's hand, I'm going to use clairvoyance, and I'm going to scry on the rock's nest.
Okay.
Because I want to be able to see. So I place my sensor that I can look through, and yeah, I just want to see if there's like anything there with the eggs or anything I could point out.
So, you have not ever seen the Rock's Nest. You're not sure what the Rock's Nest is, what it looks like, where it is, as that was Hercules.
Oh, no.
So,
That's right. Could I get someone to describe it to me then? Because that's a Jacob thing I forgot.
Yeah, no worries. If you that could be part of it. Like I'm trying. I want to find. I want to see something. Zinnia, what is yada yada.
I'll relay it.
What are you looking for? What are you looking for?
Paper from Dead Hercules.
Because I think I'm the only partner member that's seen it, right?
I'm gonna have to pause you there. Also, scrying is a 5th level divination spell.
This is clairvoyance. This is a 3rd level. I don't have scrying, but clairvoyance is you create an invisible.
Okay, I thought I
sensor
heard you say
within-
scrying for a second.
Yeah, I did because that was the one I mixed up with this one.
Ah,
and
got
that was
it.
bad. But yeah, so I create an invisible sensor in within range, a location familiar to you, a place you've visited or seen before, or an obvious location that is unfamiliar. The sensor remains in place for the duration, and it can't be attacked or otherwise interacted with. When you cast a spell, you choose hearing or seeing. I would choose seeing, and you can use the chosen sense through the sensor as if you were in this space.
So, if you want to describe the rock's nest in the mountain, you can, Zinnia.
She hasn't
Relay that
seen it.
information. True.
Did I not
The
see
only
it?
person that's seen it is me, right?
Good point.
No one else got up there
True.
because we flew up there.
Salt, you if you have been listening to them, because currently y'all aren't talking to Mabel. The only people talking are Gideon and Zinnia. Gideon, if you were trying to be quiet and keeping it away from the rest of them, I could understand that as well, though. So if you want to have kept that private and at a whisper, you can definitely do that.
I think the first part private, but then when I start talking about the spell and finishing the spell, I think I would kind of open that up to the room.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I can tell you. I saw it. It's like can I help you?
Yes. Describe it in. I'm going to ask a big.
All
favor.
right.
Describe
So
it as much
it's like
as
it's
you
like
can.
it's like big and round. It's like maybe 4.5 elephants round, and it has lots of sticks inside it and 3 eggs. I'm sorry, 3 eggs. And and it was high up in like there's big cliffs and this huge mountain. But we were on like the right side of the mountain, well, kind of the right side of the mountain. But if you sort of turn around, it's like the left side of the mountain. But it was right when we were going there for sure. And then we were coming up really high, so we had to look down, and it was like way down, like nearly as far as the rock fell the other time. Oh my god, that was so crazy. Did you hear about that? Oh, and we crashed and burned. But anyway, so back to the nest. So it's got like little twigs, but they're not really twigs. They're like big branches or logs. Yeah, logs. They were so big, in fact, that like Mabel was there, and she was really small compared to it. And so that would really it was like Mabel size times 5-ish or so. And there was like some cloudy things and the rocks. The rocks were grey. I really remember it. It's kind of like the grey, like porridge before it becomes better porridge. If you know what I mean, right? It's that sort of musty, sort of like slightly liquidy grey. And then there was this really big wooden piece that came out of the side of the mountain that sort of held it all up.
Salt, as you are finishing up describing, Gideon, before you're able to get this spell off, you're like, okay, I'm ready to go. But Salt's general long descriptors, you're like, okay.
I'm gonna also try to translate like what elephants mean, what I think they mean.
Large size object. As Mabel comes back down from the top of the stairs, holding Gorf by the hand, she says, I just need your help, buddy. Come here, just 1 second. As he's kind of looks at all of you, before she's like, can you touch the eggs, please, Gorf? As Gorf looks up at all of you, like, kind of in a quizzical, like, is this okay? Nobody really stops him, so he walks over and he puts his hand on the egg.
Summer nods, but she wants to hold his hand as well.
Okay. You hold on to Gorf's hand as you hear him like, oh, good. You hold on to his hand as he walks over to the other one. Oh, good. As he walks over to the other one. Oh, no. Oh. For holding her hand, he walks over to Mabel and he just kind of shaking his hand. He's like, you don't have to say, buddy. Thank you. Please go back upstairs. As Gorf.
What happened?
Chimichanga and churi.
One of the eggs isn't living. It's a travesty, obviously. But dragon eggs are notoriously hard to keep hatched, and if Ithka was this long without being able to warm the eggs, keep them safe, then I'll do my best to keep them warm sooner. As think not that this is your fault. This is definitely part of what happens when dragon mothers abandon their eggs. It's not right, but it's natural, and it's just part of it. She probably wouldn't know. This may be even her 4th or 5th litter before having any one. But there's 2 that are quite alive and quite healthy, and that's good. The 3rd one is quite valuable. We can talk about that at a different time. But these 2 here, she goes over and touches the first 2. She says they're still in quite good health. Gorf is great for checking things. He can check to see what's still alive with their telepathy, and so it's. She goes over to them and says, "Why don't you come with me? You look to be very in tune with these. Why don't you help me keep these things warm?" Hey, Summer.
Ryan.
Yeah.
As she says, Golf is really good to check things are alive. I sort of run over to her and point to Team, and point to Golf, sort of giving her the intent of going, "Can you check if he's alive?"
What? She kind of looks. She's like, "I can't play with you right now. What do you? I'm sorry." She, similar to Gideon, not exactly great at picking up social cues, and that's why her and Gideon got along real well when they were just by themselves.
Is he alive?
Team's just standing there eating grapes that he got from Gideon's meal he made the other day.
Oh, obviously he's alive. She.
How do you know? Has he got bones inside him?
You look up at her and see similar feathers to what he has, and a similar look. She kind of points down to herself and then over to him.
Have you got bones inside you?
I think we all do, I would say. Probably some more than others. But, right. Summer, she kind of pulls you over. She says, "We have heated blankets. You can feel great in the idea that we'll take care of these things." As she goes over to there, and you see some blankets that she pulls off of this large shelving unit that seem to have glowing threads between them that are kind of red and orange in style. As she hands one to you, it feels warm to the touch, almost like a hug. You know, like a weighted blanket feels heavy. This is like a heated blanket that feels warm, like a hug. She hands it to you. She says, "We should only need the 2. They're quite sturdy. It would take a lot to break them." So she goes over to one of the eggs. She, obviously not having the strength that Team or Zania has, just pushes it over so that it rolls on its side and begins rolling it back over towards the other eggs on the side. She says, "You can do that with the other one. It won't break. You'd have to hit it very hard."
Before I start to roll the other one, I want to like brush my hand against the one that's not alive and give it a little quick kiss, and then start to, like, with a few tears rolling down my cheeks, roll the egg with the blanket and follow her.
You roll them, the other one back over, following her, kind of looking back at the other egg. One singular one standing there at the very center of the room. Before you get over to where the glass container full of all the other types of dragon eggs is, she's wrapping one of the heated blankets out under it, almost like a bird's egg nest, to where it's at the bottom. You do the same. You hold the heated blanket under there before she tips it on over, and you kind of twirl it around. She's like, "Any way you do it is fine. It's more about the love and care of it," as you wrap it around the bottom part of it. After it kind of sits there, it stands a little out of place. She goes, "I just don't have a glass case big enough for these things. I would never expect to get verdant maculae in here. But they'll be safe, I swear. Nobody can get in or out without my key, and I don't give it to anybody."
And
As
I mean,
Salt
I
kind
know,
of chuckles to himself.
I know I don't have to say this, but they're not for sale, right? You know that.
That's entirely up to you. If you keep them with me, just to keep them alive, without being eventually, with the plans to sell them, there's going to be some costs for the upkeep. I want to run a charitable organization, but the idea is to eventually pair these things with a good home.
Well, they have a home, but I just can't take them with me.
You just
right
hold them
now.
for us until we need them back, and we'll make sure you get the money.
That's what I'm saying. If you want to do that, that's fine. Dragon eggs cost a lot of
I can
upkeep.
pay. I can pay you.
Okay. How long do you plan to keep them here? These look to be a few years away from hatching, probably 2 or 3.
I mean, can you like prepare a quote or something?
If you give me 100 gold for each year, then plan for 3, and if they hatch earlier, I will obviously keep them, take care of them from there, and then I'll give you the rest of the money back.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, we just spent a buttload on horses.
600 gold, call it even. And then obviously I'll pay you the rest back. And if it does hatch, I'll give you Mabel's treats, which we'll go over that whenever. I have a whole book on how to train your dragon. I have 3 of them, actually. The 3rd one's rubbish.
Arguable.
That's a GFY.
I can't get a GFY for a joke I've already made before.
This is true.
Of course you can.
Can
You
you?
already paid.
I've already paid for it.
Can I just have a little while with them?
Absolutely.
Just-
Yeah. I will say, if you like and don't really know what to do with the other egg, green dragon eggshells are like their scales. They're quite strong, quite hard, very, very valuable. If you don't have the gold, I can always take that, though no, you would be getting the bad end of the deal on that one.
I'm gonna need to think about it.
By all means, I'll just... She kind of walks off for a little bit.
Can Gorf talk to them?
Possibly. It's more about conveying emotions for something that's not alive. They don't really understand things.
Okay. Thank you.
Where she walks over to the group. Gideon, we'll come back to you in a second, Summer. As Gideon, Salt is giving you a general descriptor of the area. Zinnia translates like the Key and Peele sketch for the like anger translator, right? Zinnia translates that one. As Gideon, you're like, okay, I think I know where to go. I could try my best.
I'm grabbing his hand, just like grasping it. Confidence.
You want to give him some guidance on that?
Oh, I have that. I forgot. Yes.
Clairvoyance doesn't necessarily need it, however, more symbolically.
I was gonna say for this, do you want a roll because it's unfamiliar or anything, or what would you prefer?
General descriptor is pretty good for you. And yeah, I've got something set up. So if you're good to roll for it, or not good to roll for it, if you're ready to cast, then we can do that.
Yep. Gideon takes those glasses that have finally reformed and gently places them on his face, and they're like Coke bottle glasses. Like Gideon's glasses are big, but they make his eyes just look super refracted, and then the whole thing glows with that green light. And Gideon can now see wherever that area is, and in the area there is a projection of just like Gideon's frozen in time.
Gideon, as you try and get as far as you can towards that mountain, towards that location, wanting to check on the rocks from where you're at, it's quite a distance. However, with Zinnia's help, you feel like you can push yourself a little bit further. The mountains are probably about 5 or 6 miles off. The range of your spell could maybe go about 1 mile. But with Zinnia's help, you're able to push it a little further, probably about 2 miles out. But still quite a distance from that mountain. You can see through the trees where your form in the middle of the forest stands. Through the trees, you see the mountain up top. You see probably what is described as the branched nest in the distance. The roc's nest are still quite large, even miles away at that elevation. You'd be able to see them. There's no cloud cover, nothing around you as you take a look. However, you do kind of look around you at this location for a moment. Why can you see through the trees here? Why can you see around here? As you pause and look around, you look back over towards the gates of Novigrad, the walls and the structures. Again, why can you see through these trees? You're on this almost crest little hill. Before you look down and around you, the ground covered in vines, long dead. The trees around you are able to be seen through, as all the trees in the visible area around you are dead, long since dead. oak and bark blackened into the soil, many of the branches fallen off to the side. Black roses piling up around and near these specific dead trees, as there's a small cliffside near where you're at. We're standing on the edge of this cliff, maybe about 10 feet up, not very tall at all. It might be the top of the halfling hole. As you look down to the other side of this cliff, you see far more of those roses from before, black and dark. As you see something on the ground, odd shapes into the ground, almost tiny little hills littering the ground here, as moss and vines that are black and gray litter the landscape. As you look down into the side of the hill, as you look off and over on the other side, is a casket made of white stone that seems to be built into the wall.
Like, okay. Is there anything I can see? Like, I can't see a ton, but can I make any details out? Any symbols, filigree, or anything on this?
Clairvoyance doesn't really let you move, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't say that you'd be able to get as much detail. You're more just standing on the top, and you see it looks like this white stone casket was built literally into the rocky wall of the side of this hill here. If you were closer, you could definitely get a better look at it.
Yeah, just do one quick glance, and if there's anything else that catches my eye, otherwise, I'm gonna snap out of the. I'm gonna turn off the clairvoyance.
Where you kind of come back, taking the glasses off. The glow on
glasses
them
just shatter.
begins to fade, and Gideon looks around at all of you. You will see the glasses fade as he wipes the glass off from his legs before the glass turns into a fine dust and sand that flies up into the air.
I saw. When you went towards this place and I looked to Salt, was there life? I think.
Alex?
There's just a 5
Alex
million
is
yards
so-
there.
Was there life?
I was like, gosh
Perfect
dang,
timing.
he's really pondering this.
Oh,
Oh,
Hey,
Hey.
Alex.
Am I back?
welcome
You are back.
Yay!
Nope.
Oh,
no, back into the.
Hey,
Hey! Oh,
So, evil.
Hey.
Quit.
Am
Cast
Are
it.
you all through a time
2,
clear?
3, 4, 5.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think you're good now.
Did you hear
I
what
think I'm back.
Gideon
I've
asked
got
at all?
internet again. Yay! Welcome to temporary internet for the new house.
Right. Were you able to hear at all the
not.
descriptors of the landscape? Were you able to?
Don't
He's in the
crash on
same
me now,
exact
internet,
spot.
you'd be
How did
so
he do
good.
that? Oh man.
All right, what's the question?
Go ahead again.
It's not working, is it?
well, we can
Gideon
hear you.
just-
We just can't
Yeah.
see you.
Gideon had asked if when you went to the mountain peak, was there life nearby? Damn it.
Wow.
The comedic timing is iconic.
Right.
No.
Salt is looking up.
Is there life? Clearly there's not. This is the internet.
Life. What is life, really, if you were to ask? Oh no, we're all changed. I'm Salt. I'll answer for you.
Wait, who am
Okay.
I? Oh, wait,
you're
I'm still me.
you're still you. It's
Man.
literally just me and Alex who have swapped. Yeah, I'll ask for you. This is low key wonderful. Yeah, I'll. No, there was life everywhere.
Am
Big
I
rock in the sky. Oh, yeah, yeah. There you go. I was trying to do the best Salt I could. I hear you, Alex, but I just don't see you yet. Now I don't hear him
Once-
either.
Lots of life.
Yeah. This is what Bobo's GFYs did. I went and hacked Alex's internet.
Thanks, Bobo.
Um,
Okay,
Hey.
Okay, there he's back. Now he's
am I
back.
actually
Nice.
back?
Okay.
All right. Whatever you guys need from me, I'm back. Oh,
What's
Okay,
their
go
life?
Gideon.
was there life near the mountain?
what do you mean life? Like there was eggs and there was the lady.
I know.
She was alive, and then the rock came and he was alive.
Like fauna, trees, green.
There were lots of trees everywhere, and then there's like purple flames and everything. But the nest, I wasn't really. It was like old wooden pieces.
That field up to the mountain it's nothing.
There's a field. We were like really, really, really high. We were flying, like cold and everything else. So I didn't really look down.
Everything up to that peak looks dead. It's it looked like something dark, like black, like there was roses and things growing, but every tree was dead.
Have you been there as well?
No, I just looked to it, or what's left of it.
Can team hear this conversation?
How? Are you there now?
I don't think they're particularly
looking?
hiding it, so probably.
Team's gonna look over to Mabel and say, "Did you not say that there was dark magics at work?"
Oh, sorry. I was deep in thought. Dark magics. Yes, up at the mountain, definitely. The
Yeah,
rock.
I don't know if you just heard him, but apparently everything on the way up to the mountain is dead.
Where do you mean? Which side of the mountain?
Closer to us, near, I would say only 2 miles out of the city. It looked like almost like a blight of some kind.
There is a clearing there. Best avoid that. I don't think that has anything to do with this. I would avoid that area.
There was a white casket there.
Yes. Some tombs best left sealed, I say. Assuredly, this has nothing to do with the rock.
Can I insight check? I
Absolutely.
feel like Mabel kind of sus. That's 8 plus 7, so 15.
15. She doesn't seem like she'd be lying to you. Her concern is generally right now towards the dragon eggs and the rock. She seems to be pretty forthcoming and just avoid that area.
Okay. Well, my vision couldn't get me close enough to the rock's nest, but aside from that eerie clearing, it doesn't look like there's anything too foreboding over the mountain. Just that was not a pleasant place. So I would say probably first order of business, if you don't mind my suggesting, we need to get those eggs, and then we need to talk about Ithka and the Sun Spear.
I can gladly tell you all about the Sun Sphere. Anything you want to know about it.
Summer, as you're back over there, you hear them talking, but it's noise to you. It's nothing. You're here with the eggs, sitting near the warmed blankets. You said you had a word you wanted to say?
Yeah. I'm just gonna kind of sit between the two eggs that are warming now and put my hands on them and start to kind of whisper. And like a bit of this magic energy kind of surrounds me, and there's a bit of like melodic melody, I guess, that kind of seems to be played by those strands of magic, and I just, with hands on both of them, whisper, "At first you were my hostages, a selfish way to use you eggs. I threatened you, and that was wrong. but now I hope you're growing strong. Your mother left, and that was my fault. I feared for my life and that of Salt. Although I go and you're left again, this is not where our story ends. You went from 3 and now you're 2, and for that I'll always be sorry to you. I'll come back for you, I promise you that. And even though you've left my hat, you're very loved by your mummy rat. And I'll give them a kiss on each egg. And then stand up.
You can absolutely take a point. Wonderful. Solid job. That's a bard right there. Bard doing bard things. Great job.
And then
That
I'll
was amazing.
oh, little baby eggies. And I'll give them a rub and then look to the window and see if I can see what they're doing.
You look back over to the group before you stand up and walk over. You hear in the midst of the conversation, Gideon says, "We need to talk about the Sunspear. We need to talk about Ithka." Before that's when you rejoin the rest of the group.
Okay, so we have some eggs that are safe and some more that aren't. What do we do now?
Let's go get some eggs. And on the trip, I'll tell you about the Sunsphere. How about that?
Yeah. Slow details. Go easy on me.
Gideon, were you planning? You said at one point you were planning on doing ascending. Is that still the plan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to Gideon's gonna go to the side, and I'm just gonna let like Xenia know, I'm gonna get in touch with my domain. They'll probably have some good advice for me. I can turn to them, no matter what. So, yeah. Just give me a moment.
Do what you must.
And Gideon goes, and he sits, on that rocking chair. Or is the guy still there, Dallas?
No, he left.
Okay.
He walked out. So you head outside to sit on the rocking chair.
He goes outside, and he, takes that copper wire, and he first goes to send it to, his order head, but Gideon being Gideon, I'm gonna use sending to my mom, because Gideon's really scared right now. And Gideon is like, I'm not even gonna like count it. I think Gideon wouldn't do that. Hi, Mom. Sending you another message because I've made some friends. They are very nice. I'm really scared. There's a lot happening.
You have 2 more.
Love you.
Love you. Before you send off, you turning the copper wire almost like a clock in your hand as you pull off 2 little pieces, essentially making a small little gyroscope as you bing, flick it as it begins spinning around and around. For you kind of speak into the gyroscope before you just let it sit on your thumb there, spinning for about a minute, before suddenly in your thumb it just kind of stops in place before you grab it and put it up to your ear as you listen. Oh, honey, I'm so happy for you, but scared? You know we'll help you. You can handle anything. You know you can. Believe in yourself. But if you need it, your father and I are always here for you. Love, Mother.
Okay. Gideon's gonna get up, and he's gonna walk back in directly to Xenia. We don't need my order at this time. We're going to keep this among us. My order is just going to muddle things, I think. Plus, you guys seem like you have your head screwed on quite tight. It's scary, but There's people out there that probably believe in you. I know I do.
I trust your judgment, Time Cleric.
You know my domain and whatnot. What do you pray to?
Oh, I'm from the mountains, so many storms there. So, my storm lord Nimbus, it's a cloud. You might see a little version of it in battle sometimes. But Nimbus Cumulo, the name is far too long for me to remember, but Nimbus for short.
Gideon, roll a religion check as she says Nimbus. Not to interrupt you, Zania.
No, go ahead.
It's not super great. I mean, still 13.
You haven't heard of this Nimbus before. It must be some obscure... You're not sure if it's a god or an idea, but it's definitely obscure.
Can I tell how scared Gideon is? Like, did I hear him say he was scared?
He would have gone outside to have this kind of a little private conversation with his mother, I would assume.
Can I tell he shook?
Roll an insight on
Probably.
that.
Ooh, wait, this one. Oh, okay. A 17 plus 6. Math, 23.
Gideon is shooketh. Gideon, you can see his well-kept hair, his nice fine clothes. You can see a bit of sweat underneath his arm, a bit of sweat dabbing his forehead. He has a handkerchief in his hand that he's definitely got balled up, that you can see he was definitely kind of blotting the sweat onto the side there. Definitely quite scared.
I'm going to go over. I'm just going to grab him the shoulders and just thank you for believing on us, and I'm just gonna hug him. I didn't know what else to say.
Gideon.
We'll figure it out.
This is the first time anyone has ever hugged you besides your mother and father.
Oh no.
Oh
Are you
no!
kidding? He's frozen just like Alex. Are you kidding? The timing.
How do we meet? I was like, oh no, my
Oh,
Wi-Fi.
God.
Bobo's
Good
fault.
Lord. What a...
All Bobo's fault.
Bobo,
I told you 10 GFYs would break
Bobo.
the game.
It's broken. You don't want to see what happens when you get your 10th 10 GFYs. We quit the stream.
The whole thing just...
I love chat so much. Your hug broke Gideon.
Oh no!
It was too wholesome.
Too wholesome.
Can't handle it.
Gideon
You broke
explodes.
him.
Back.
I
Hello,
hear you.
hello.
Are you back?
Mm.
No.
Is it the server? No,
I-
is the server weak?
No, we're all fine though. It wouldn't be just like one person each time.
Yeah.
It's the translation between imperial and metric.
That's
That's
Yep.
true.
That's
Yep.
it.
That's what it is. Then-
Blame it
Yep.
on the US.
Yeah. See, it's all those people down under the three of us, except for Jakey, who should be above us.
Oh no!
Oh, poor little Jakey.
What a perfect time to end the stream.
Right.
No.
You hug him. That honestly is not a
Thank you,
horrible
Matt.
spot to end, is waiting for Gideon's reaction of the first time he is ever hugged. While Gideon is processing what's happening to him. This is literally Gideon.exe is malfunctioning. With that, make sure if you haven't done it yet, do your ! LUD so that you can enter for the final giveaway of the last 2 sets of dice. So we can end the giveaway here soon, and then hopefully Gideon comes back. I've
If
done.
not, that seriously was. It was a good spot to end it for the night.
I'm Salt again. Gideon, as in Alex. Do you have anything? How do you react to the hug? I'm just since you are
He
taking over
freezes.
Gideon's spot.
He freezes as well.
Yeah.
That's okay. He can plan this hug and what he wants to do with that.
What a wholesome note to start back up on next week.
Right?
Mid-hug.
My normal cliffhangers are so much worse. Like, oh, we're going to die next time. This one, oh, we're going to finish the hug next time.
I swear I'm getting tattoos at some point in time. It's happening. I don't care when. It's happening soon. I'm getting some tats.
Oh, it's absolutes happening.
It's already on the
Unless
art. It's gonna
I
happen.
die.
Wait, are we? You like Drew or team?
Both. Me
Both.
and team. We're both getting tats.
If you get a face tattoo like Team, you know what? I'll give you 1 point of inspiration.
Just one.
Gosh.
I mean, as long as I keep being employed by the people I'm employed by. Sure, why not?
Fair enough. Hey, is it Jakey?
Hello? Did it
That was
work?
Yeah.
one hell of a hug.
Yeah,
Did I miss the ending?
Yeah.
no, not
No,
yet.
because the ending is waiting for you. So instead, we're gonna
Oh,
pause.
fantastic.
We're gonna pause and have your reaction to the hug be the start of next week's episode.
Fantastic.
As Gideon.exe has crashed. Also, somebody said, "What happened when the 10 GFYs?" Guess you'll wait and see, huh? Since
Oh man.
we didn't get to
Go
see
get
that part. Right. Let's go ahead and do those giveaways, and let's give people some dice, and that way you can formulate for a week, which is probably about how long Gideon really needs to process this anyway.
It's accurate.
Let's do it. If you haven't done it yet, too late. You had time. Bree, go ahead.
All right, closing entries, my friends, and oh my god,
We got 2 winners this time. Remember.
We do. We do. I'm not buying time till Streamlabs catches up to
Never.
us.
No, we never do that.
Never.
Good luck to everyone.
That's what Gideon's job
How
is to buy
great
time.
are these giveaways? They're so
If I
good.
could turn back
So-
time.
so good.
Bye-bye.
Also,
I would take back the spear from
Find a
Ithka.
way.
Bye-bye.
I would have an easier notice board task. That's what I would have done. How them chickens doing? No, that was worse, wasn't it? The chickens were more.
the chickens had more skulls.
I don't understand how that's possible.
Well, didn't say what kind of
yeah.
chickens.
Are they like abyssal chickens or like cockatrices?
Hey,
Fanny 0617.
Congratulations,
T Fanny. Good for you, T Fanny.
Tiffany.
That's probably what it is. Fanny. Congratulations, T Fanny. You have won
And
yourself
magic
one of these sets of real scene dice from Hackstack with has pictures on them. Heck yeah! Who else?
And
Who was the other one?
Magic's got one as well.
Ooh, Magicix. Awesome. They have won the other set of
Two.
real scene
There's 4 in
dice.
total.
Beautiful. 4 giveaways tonight. What a world record. Make sure that you answer those replies for the addresses so that we can get them to you sooner than later. And thank you for participating.
Next week's gonna be so crazy.
Next week is the Halloween episode, so make sure you're there for that one. And I will give the staff many gifts if they come, a trick or a treat if they come in costume. However, I will say what you saw with the dead casket and the black trees in the forest is not the Halloween episode. So
Does that mean we have to wait an extra week?
an extra week. Oh yeah. Well, no, it's gonna come back. It's your characters, so you will.
Yeah, but we don't
start
get
next week
Jakey's
still with the hug.
reaction for 2 weeks.
No. You still get it. You still get it.
Okay.
It's gonna be canon. What happens?
Oh god,
Whoa.
a canon Halloween episode is terrifying.
Oh man, Jakey just froze, but it looked like he just like cut off his bun. I was like, "What are you doing?"
Oh no.
All right, it's past time.
over here.
We're gonna end the stream. Thanks everybody. Hope you all have a fantastic night.
Bye.
Bye.